Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sir, would you state your full name, please?
Mark William Warren?
And Mr. Warren, you understand that you're here today to give your deposition?
Yes.
Have you ever given your deposition before?
Yes.
How many times?
I can't remember.
Well, give me a guess.
I would say several over the years, accidents and et cetera.
Okay. Accidents where you were the investigating officer?
Yes.
Okay. How about any cases involving a pursuit?
I don't remember having a depot for that, no.
Okay. In the cases that you've given depositions on, was it being alleged that you'd done anything
No.
improperly?
No.
Objective one.
Okay. So even though you've done some depositions, I want to go over some ground rules just to make things smoother today.
Okay.
One, try to work on letting me ask all my question before you start to answer it. You may be able to assume and know what I'm getting ready to ask, but let me finish the question if you would.
Okay.
And I will do my very best not to interrupt your answer, okay?
Right.
You're doing a good job so far answering out loud. If you give me I'm going to ask you if it's a yes. I'm not trying to be rude. I just want to make sure the record's clear, okay?
I understand.
If you don't understand a question I asked you, I want you to tell me,
Okay.
One thing I want to make sure you and I agree on, though, is that if I ask you a question and you answer that question, it's safe for me to assume you understood the question I asked you.
Yes.
Fair?
Fair.
Okay. This is not a marathon. If you need to take a break, you just tell me.
Just got to stop around 11:20 to re-up my parking for my...
Okay. Well, hopefully everyone else will help me keep track of the time, and
Okay.
We'll make sure that your parking gets handled.
Okay.
Where do you currently reside?
Broken Arrow?
Okay. And how long have you lived there?
Since about November of 21, I think.
Okay.
20 or 21, I can't remember. I mean, I've lived in Broken Arrow a long time, so.
Well, where you currently reside, did you move in there before or after this accident?
I think it's after, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
It was November of 21 or November of 20, I can't remember.
And are you in Tulsa County or Wagoner County?
Wagoner County.
And regardless of where you were living at the time, in February of 2021, who lived with you?
My wife.
Okay, and what's her name?
Eileen, Eileen.
Okay. And does Eileen work?
She's a retired school teacher,
Okay. From which school?
Broken Arrow.
And was she retired in 2021?
She retired in 21, just before I did.
Okay. And it looked like you had retired, I think, in July?
July 31st, yes.
Okay. When had you announced your decision to retire, approximately?
The month prior to this, I put a letter of intent to retire at the end of July.
A month prior to what?
To this accident.
Okay, so in January?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it was around the 19th, but I'm not sure.
Okay. And I believe, I might be off a year, I believe you started in 1986?
Yes,
Is that right?
February of 86.
Tell me back then what kind of training you had to go through in order to become a trooper.
The Highway Patrol Academy, 16 weeks. So I could be here for a long time explaining all the training requirements we had to meet, CLEAT, et cetera, and then some OHP training.
Okay, and when you say OHP training, Give me a little more on that.
The shooting, the driving, self-defense. Off the top of my head, I can't think of much else besides your normal cleat, which is the requirements for the state of Oklahoma.
Sure.
Yeah.
And my understanding is now it's a 20-week program, is that right?
Now it is. I think back then it was 16 or almost 17 for us.
Any idea what that extra 4 weeks is for now?
Not sure.
Okay. And at the time you retired, you were a lieutenant?
Yes.
And who was your immediate supervisor?
Jerry Reagan was my captain.
Okay. I saw Vern Wilson's name somewhere. I'm assuming you know him
I do.
and have for 30 years.
Yes.
Was he one of your supervisors?
No, Vern was working Tulsa Troop B proper, and he was a lieutenant there.
Okay. Give me your educational background, if you would.
I got 50 hours of college.
Okay. In what?
Well, police science was, I didn't continue much after that 50 hours. That was it. It was police science, I think, is what.
Okay. And where did you do those 50 hours?
Murray State and Connor State.
Okay. And roughly what time period?
Fall of 78 at Murray State, and then I transferred to Connors in the beginning of 79.
Is Connors in
Warner.
Claremore? Warner. Okay. What made you decide to go get into law enforcement?
You know, it's just been my interest, just like most young boys at the time. Growing up, my dad was in the military, so.
And at that time, were you married?
In college, no. You talking
Okay.
about college? No.
How about when you joined OHP?
Nope.
No. When did you get married?
1988.
And I'm assuming that's to Eileen?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yep.
Any kids?
4 kids.
Tell me their names and ages if you would.
Tiffany is a few days from now, she'll be 45. Chad is just turned 44. Kyle is 34. And Bryce is 30,
Okay.
I think.
So you guys finally got everyone out of diapers and then started all over again.
Yeah, we got 10 grandkids and a great-grandchild, so.
All of the kids go to BA.
No, 2 of the older ones went to Davis, and then one came to BA, and then the 2 younger went to BA. Yeah.
Tell me, if you would, sir, what did you do in preparation for your deposition today?
Oh, I talked to Miss Neal, looked over the pursuit policy again, and that's pretty much it. I mean.
Okay. Did you review your statement?
No.
How about, did you listen to the interview you gave?
No.
Have you ever listened to the interview you gave?
You know, I don't think I have. I took it before I retired, I believe. Yeah. And I don't think I've ever heard the replay on it, no.
Okay. You were served with the lawsuit in this case, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm assuming you read that lawsuit.
Not really. I mean, I just
Okay.
got served as.
Right. But you
but I
didn't
don't-
read it?
No,
Okay. Have you ever read it?
I don't think so, no.
You have any idea what this case is about?
Yes.
Okay. What's it about?
It's about tragic innocent lives were taken, and so, you know, it's, you're suing the family, suing the concrete company, and suing the state,
And suing you,
and suing me.
right? And what is your understanding of what it is you're being sued for?
I guess because of my involvement in the pursuit, so.
Okay. Is that the extent of your knowledge about the allegations in the case?
I've never seen the exact allegation.
Okay.
I mean, just my involvement in the pursuit.
And you, through this investigation that you did or that arose out of this incident, you understood 2 people were killed.
Yes,
And I believe it was the young man driving the truck was, what, 14 years old?
I think so.
The 2 people that were killed, do you know anything about them?
Mother, daughter.
Do you know happen to know their names?
You know, I don't. I should have refreshed my memory, I guess. I just, you know, the only way I can tell you is it just breaks my heart to even think about it, which I do every day.
Now, do you have an understanding of how many people were in the Tahoe that got hit?
3,
And the third person, do you know anything about them?
it's a boy that was taken to the hospital and checked out, yes.
Okay. Did you talk to the boy at the scene of
No.
this incident?
No,
Okay. Did you even look in the Tahoe?
no,
Okay. Any particular reason why?
because I had the suspect on the ground.
Okay. Handcuffed?
Not initially, he was handcuffed later. He was hurt, so I just didn't throw cuffs on him to possibly injure him more.
Were you the first law enforcement officer on the scene?
Yes,
And so you were the first law enforcement agent that would have been capable of getting to that car, correct?
yes,
Okay.
yes. We had a trooper right behind me that came seconds later, and then I saw somebody to the east of us coming.
But my understanding from your statement is you never even went up to the Tahoe,
I did not.
correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Never checked on them?
No,
Okay. Do you have any understanding as to whether or not both of the individuals that passed away, if they were dead on impact?
that's what I was told.
And who told you that?
One of the officers or troopers came up to where I was with the suspect and told me.
Okay. Any idea how he knew?
No.
Okay, now, OHP, and we both understand when I say OHP, I'm talking about Oklahoma Highway Patrol.
Yes.
Fair? They did not start tracking these pursuits until 2020, is that right?
I don't know.
Were you involved in any kind of committee that reviewed any pursuits?
No.
Are you aware of any such committee?
Not off the top of my head, I can't remember.
And had you been involved in any investigations regarding a pursuit that you were involved in?
No, I've sat on pursuit boards before over the years.
And tell the jury, if you would, what a pursuit board is.
They'll review, I'm sorry?
Objective form, but you can go ahead and answer.
To review the pursuit and find out if policy was followed and it's within the scope of the employment of the trooper, and just analyze it, make sure nothing else was done improperly.
And who else sits on that board or review board?
It's a selection from the brass above me. I'm trying to remember, I think it's a captain, lieutenant, and a trooper, and maybe somebody representing the OSTA.
But it's all individuals that are employed with the OHP.
Yes.
So, and this is from what I was reading in the materials, it's basically a self-policing type of review board, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned that it's to look into the pursuit and confirm whether or not they were acting in their course and scope of employment?
Yes.
Okay. When determining whether or not something happened in the course and scope of their employment, what factors do you look at?
Well, the initial violation, misdemeanor, felony. Time of day, traffic conditions, assistance, what assistance did you have, et cetera. I can't think of all the details now.
Okay. How about how the trooper's operating their patrol car?
Sure. That's
I
one.
mean, I would think that would be a big one, wouldn't it?
Sure. You want to operate it safely, sure.
And have you ever sat on a pursuit review board where you found that the trooper was acting outside the course and scope of his employment?
No.
Have you ever heard of a trooper being found to have been acting outside the course and scope of
Don't remember.
Hold on a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have you ever heard of a trooper being found to be outside the course and scope of his employment during a pursuit?
Objective form. You can answer.
Okay. I can't think of any.
Okay. OSBI never gets involved?
I don't know.
Well, in your 30 years of being there, did you ever, were you ever involved in a pursuit investigation that OSBI actually investigated?
I don't know.
Objective form.
So, give me examples of what a highway patrolman would have to do in regards to operating their cruiser to fall outside the course and scope of their employment.
Going through a red light, and just because you got lights and siren on doesn't give you the right of way.
Okay.
And so if you crash into a car, it's your responsibility to go through that intersection safely.
Okay. What else?
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
So as far as operating a vehicle in such a way to be outside the course and scope of employment, other than running through a red light with your sirens on, you can't think of anything else?
In high-speed driving, you try to do everything correct. Do it as safely as you can. I can't think of anything off the top of my head now, no.
Well, what are you all trained as far as how to stay within the course and scope of your employment?
Well, again, you're trying to do it as safely as you can, so you're trained to, I've called off pursuits on misdemeanors before because school buses were being let out about the time, and so I just called it off. Mm-hmm. And so the seriousness of the violation of the crime, if it's a felony, it kind of rises to a level. Every pursuit's dangerous. Every pursuit can end in a tragedy. We all know that. So you just try to weigh your options of whether or not if you're going to continue or not. And so over the years, I've stopped it because it was a misdemeanor, and didn't want to chase down a guy for a misdemeanor just to end up getting somebody hurt.
What about nonviolent felonies? Is
I
that
don't-
is that a reason to keep a pursuit going?
Yes, it can be.
Okay. Explain that to me if you would.
Well, like this case here, this kid didn't know he was a kid at the time, but obviously he stole the truck from the car wash, and then finally when he saw me approaching, I mean, he squeezed between two cars and ended up sideswiping a mirror or something, and then it had another little, I don't know if he was involved or it was other vehicles involved at 31st Memorial. And so because of his actions, it tells me from my experience that whether I'm behind him or not, he's going to continue to try to get away from everybody.
Well, let me ask you this, because it wasn't clear from the documents I reviewed. Would you agree that this young man began running from you after you started to pursue him?
Object to form.
I just noticed when I had my rear decks on, my rear lights on, when I was told about the stolen truck, so I could approach that group of cars and basically sneak up on him without alarming him, because of my experience, I've seen him just take off. So I'm trying to sneak up on the guy. So he took off from that group of cars, and so I assumed he saw me coming.
Okay. He was not, you did not feel as if he was attempting to evade you before you started your pursuit.
No.
Fair?
That's fair.
Object to form.
Okay. Okay. You handy what? You have exhibit 1, will you? I'm gonna push that your way,
Okay.
not to be rude.
Nope.
Now, officer, have you seen this diagram before today?
No.
Do you want to take a minute and look at it, or you know what you're looking at?
I know what I'm looking at.
Okay. Tell me what are we looking at here?
You got the vehicle that the victims were pulling out from a roadway, and then you've got the stolen vehicle eastbound on 21st and making contact.
Okay. Was this a controlled intersection?
Got a stop sign here, I see.
Okay.
So yes,
And had you been in this area before?
yes.
Okay. The Silverado, he was traveling east on what street?
21st.
Okay. Let me do this. Walk me through from the time someone came up to your car from behind driving, and you know where I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Take me from there to the point where you're arresting Mr. Gonzalez.
Object to form.
I was at a traffic light, and I saw the vehicle approaching behind me, a pickup truck, and came up on my right side. I rolled my window down, and I was just going to tell him to slow down because he was driving fast, and he began yelling, "Stolen Chevrolet pickup," pointing ahead. And I look ahead and I see a group of cars maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5/10 of a mile ahead of me. I'm just guessing. And he said he stole the truck from a car wash, and so I activated my rear lights got through the intersection and then tried to catch the group of cars. After I got closer to the group of cars, the pickup separated himself. And at that time, that's when I knew that he had seen me. I just assumed he had seen me. And so I activated my lights and siren. And when he came up to the 81st and Highway 51 intersection, where Brahms is and Quitrip is, that's where he squeezed through traffic at the light that were stopped and clipped a mirror and continued and got on the Wagoner Expressway from 51. So I made it through the intersection, and by the time I got up on the Wagoner Expressway, I saw him exit Elm. That's right there in front of Bass Pro. And by the time I got around the corner of that off-ramp, all I saw was kind of dust. I thought maybe he'd crashed out through the intersection. And so I saw the dust. By the time I got up to the top of the ramp, that's when I realized he'd went on through. So I tried to get on through, I did. And then got on the BA, and I'm trying to catch up to maybe do a TVI, tactical vehicle intervention. We had a trooper that was on the eastbound side of the Wagoner Expressway between Garnett and 129th, if I remember correctly, and he's trying to throw stop sticks out. That didn't work, and then the suspect went northbound on 169 from the BA and immediately took that first exit, which is East 41st Street. And from East 41st Street, he continued westbound, and then I saw him go through Mingo up ahead of me, and then he turned north just west of Mingo into a residential area, made his way through that residential area to 41st to 31st, went westbound on 31st, and at Memorial, another traffic accident happened. I don't know if he was involved directly, I can't remember for sure. And then I had a trooper that was, I think, announced that he was going to stop and check on it. Went through that intersection, got to Sheridan. He went north and then west on a street just north of there, a block or two, came back out on Sheridan, went northbound on Sheridan. TPD had 21st and Sheridan blocked, an officer sitting there with the lights on. So he cuts through the come and go parking lot. So I cut through the come and go parking lot, and then he continues east on 21st, and that's where he got some distance from me. And then we get up closer to the accident scene, and then I noticed something happened ahead of me, and I wasn't sure what it was. And that's when I drove up, and he was running across the roadway and just fell to the ground, and so I went up there and checked on him.
Okay. At what point in the pursuit did you chase him through a neighborhood?
Between 41st and 31st, through that neighborhood there, west of Mingo.
Okay. And I believe I saw in the documents that he drove through a yard.
He did.
Is that right?
He did.
Like a front yard?
Yeah, kind of a front yard corner. There was some street workers or street maintenance being done of some sort. I don't remember. And so I cut through right with him.
You cut through the yard too?
I did.
Okay. Do you remember what day this happened?
I'm going to guess maybe a Monday. I just got back from vacation. It was my first day back.
But as far as the actual date, do you
25th
recall?
of February, I believe.
Okay. Of 21?
Yes.
Okay. Had you been on vacation?
Yes.
Where had you been?
Florida.
Fishing?
Golfing.
Golfing?
Mm-hmm.
Now, during this period of time, I know that you were a lieutenant, but tell me what your day-to-day job functions were?
Primarily in the office, schedules, overtime, supplies, training, vehicles, scheduling for all the guys on the creek and the Muskogee Turnpike, checking reports, 7 days, accidents, basically acting as an XO for my captain.
Okay. More administrative in nature?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And how long had you been doing that,
Um,
roughly?
a year or two, I think.
And is that, when you began that position, is that around the time that you started driving the Explorer?
Yeah, my captain was going to be issued a new unit, and he went from that Explorer to a Charger. My current Charger was I believe a 2014, and it only had low miles on it because I live close to that office. And they were going to issue me one, but I didn't need one because I'm about to retire. I knew I was going to retire. And so I turned my car into a pool car, and basically for the creek and Muskogee Turnpike, in case somebody's unit breaks down, they can use a good car to drive. And so I took the Explorer since I just lived a few miles from the office.
Okay. And that was 1.5 to 2 years before all this happened?
Yes.
So even back then, you knew you were going to retire?
Oh yes. I had a
Okay.
countdown on my phone.
Okay. And these Explorers, they were equipped differently than the Chargers, correct?
Well, it's a 6-cylinder four-wheel drive vehicle compared to the V8 Charger. It's a good vehicle, the Explorer is.
Sure.
It just doesn't perform as well as the Charger.
Well, and it doesn't have in-car video recording, true?
That's true.
These Explorers aren't their primary purpose is not pursuing fleeing suspects, correct?
Primary for that, at that time, no, you're right. I mean, but it's a pursuit vehicle, so it is equipped for that purpose.
Well, but it's not, is it?
Well,
Objective form.
I mean,
you know, it
aren't-
doesn't, it doesn't have a light bar on top of it, but it's got lights, which a lot of vehicles do now. They conceal the lights, as you've seen and we've all seen. So,
but it doesn't have any recording equipment like
No.
it's supposed to, right?
well, captains don't receive them, and so when he turned it to me, and since I was primarily in the office and not working the road per se,
Right.
Objective form to the question. You need to give me a second so that I can object when I need to.
okay, all right.
You're doing better than most.
You
That's all
are.
right. That's all right.
I'm just getting at from everything I read. It did not seem like those Explorers, even if they could pursue another car, were necessarily equipped like your typical trooper would have.
Everything except the camera.
Right.
Right.
But those cameras on your standard, you go call them patrol cars,
Patrol unit, patrol car.
patrol units. Those are all equipped with in-car video recording, correct?
Yes, for traffic, yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those can be turned on at any moment, correct?
Sure.
Do they automatically come on when you engage your lights?
Yes.
Okay. And so, had this been your typical patrol car, this whole event would have been recorded, correct?
Sure.
Does that include recording inside the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. When you started, when you were at the light and the person came up telling you that the truck had been stolen, tell me approximately where you were.
If I remember correctly, I was at the light at Highway 51 and Oneida Road, and there's a come and go there. I'm pretty sure that's what my memory You know, if I listened to the tape or something, maybe it would refresh my memory, but I think it was Oneida.
And is that Wagoner County?
Yes,
Okay. So the pursuit started in Wagoner County and ended in Tulsa County?
yes.
Okay. And roughly what time of day are we talking when it began?
Right around lunchtime, I think.
And approximately how long did this pursuit last?
I guess 10 to 15 minutes maybe.
Okay.
I'm just guessing.
Sure. And do you have a guess as far as how many miles you went?
Object to form.
6, 7, 8, maybe 10 to 15 miles.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to ask you earlier. Have you ever been the focus of any type of investigation with Oklahoma Highway Patrol?
Yes.
Okay. How many times?
An off-duty incident once. In 95, I think, 95 or 6.
Is that it?
That I can think of. I mean, I don't know.
How did an off-duty incident give rise to an investigation with OHP?
They had a bachelor party.
Who did?
A guy that was getting married, and then a couple guys put it on for him.
Okay. And you went to the bachelor
I
party?
did.
And what was it that you supposedly did that got you investigated?
Supposedly, the captain and the board felt like I was holding back on information from the other troopers, what they did.
Okay. And what is it that they supposedly did?
Engaged in misconduct with 2 women that were there for the party.
Okay. Were they hookers?
I would guess strippers, hookers, whatever you want to call them.
Okay. I mean, it's not illegal to hang out with women. So what was the allegation?
That
Object to form.
Okay.
You can go ahead.
Sorry, going too fast.
No, just
I mean, it's that they engaged in sexual misconduct with these women.
Okay. And I guess the powers that be did not feel like you were being completely forthcoming
That's correct.
in your version of what happened?
And what I saw, yes.
Okay.
Correct.
And were they right? Were they correct?
No.
object to form.
And what ended up happening as a result of that investigation?
The party happened in 1993. I got promoted in 95 and then demoted in 97. So I was demoted because of that.
Okay. So basically you got back to where you were in 93?
Yes. Well, we only have, that's as far as you can go without being gone.
Okay.
Trooper. So, and then in 2009 was reinstated with back pay and interest and everything, and my rank and everything.
So you appealed it,
Yes.
and it took that many years to appeal?
Yes.
Who represented you in the appeal?
Randy Gill
Okay.
and Bill Sellers, but he passed.
Bill? How did you know Wild Bill?
A friend of mine referred me to him, and then after I met him, I was glad I met him.
Kind of a character.
He's definitely a character. Good guy.
Very. Okay. What happened to the other 2 guys that supposedly engaged in this conduct?
I think one was given a 3-day suspension, and I think another one was given a 3-day suspension. I can't remember the exact time, but I think that's correct.
Okay.
Three days maybe, I'm not sure.
Do you know what they were disciplined for?
I think sexual misconduct on one of them, and the other one was pretty much what I was accused of and not being forthcoming.
So, I guess it sounds like they were, at least one of them was found to have engaged in this misconduct,
Yes,
and their punishment was a 3-day suspension, right?
yes.
Okay. Was that one of the police from within type of reviews?
I'm sorry, what?
The panel that does all that, that
Yes.
reviews that, is
A
that
board.
another internal,
Yes,
like, police yourselves kind of thing?
yes.
Okay. Do you know what General Order 4600 is?
No.
Well, it's got it listed as you receiving discipline for violation of that general order on February 3rd of 2005, May 8th, 2006, January 15th, 2008, January 18th, 2008, September 23rd, 2008, and October 3rd of 2011. Do you recall any of that?
No, I mean, are you talking about a complaint or, I don't know.
It just said that you received discipline for violations of OHP General Order 4600, operation of patrol vehicles.
Oh. Probably speeding.
What do you mean by that?
A lot of times you go to Oklahoma City for training and you get a heavy foot.
And is that kind of part of the culture at
Can be,
OHP?
it can be, or you can get in trouble too.
Okay. But I mean, maybe I'm biased, but I drive on 44 a lot too. And it's not uncommon to be passed by troopers going well above the speed limit without lights engaged. Is that something that's kind of overlooked within the
No,
department?
not necessarily
Objective
overlooked.
form.
Not necessarily overlooked.
So when you're informally disciplined, what does that mean?
The informal part is where there is no days on the ground, no suspension, no affect your pay, etc. It's just, that's the best way I can explain it. It's between the troop commander and the employee, or the major to the captain, etc. It's not the formal discipline that you would, like getting demoted or getting days on the ground, something to affect your pay
I
or your
mean,
rank.
okay, so is it basically just a slap on the wrist?
If you want to call it that, I mean, it's.
Well, I mean, what-
you, of course, I mean, it's like anything else. If you get a ticket, you know, you get a penalty and you get points on your record. I mean, you want to slow down. So
Right.
I mean, yeah, it can be, unless you continue it, it certainly elevate.
I guess I'm trying to figure out what the penalty is.
Well, your evaluation at the end of the year, it can affect that. If you're trying to get promoted or transfer to another position. So yeah, you want a good evaluation, and you've got these marks on there that may prevent it.
Okay. But other than being promoted or moving up the chain, there's really no ramifications
Objective form.
to to speeding in your cruiser.
Well, if you show a pattern of that, it can elevate, but
Okay.
it goes in your file.
Well, I mean, you've got 3 in 2008, 2 of which are 3 days apart. Like, at what point does it become a pattern?
I guess that was a 3-day pattern.
Well, and nothing came of it, right?
At my evaluation, it may have affected it, but I can't remember of anything further, no.
Okay. I guess one thing I've been trying to figure out for years is what exactly does a highway patrolman have to do as far as how he operates his vehicle to actually get in trouble for something?
Well,
I mean, you guys basically
For
can go as
example.
fast as you want.
no, of course not.
Well,
I mean, we exceed the speed limit occasionally. I'm not going to deny that. But, you know, if a trooper gets involved in some sort of situation where somebody is hurt or scared because of his vehicle operation, sure, he'd get in trouble.
okay, but absent those types of situations, speeding is accepted by the department, is it not?
Object
Not-
to form.
I would say no, it's not accepted. You get in trouble for it. So, no, it's not accepted.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out, is you say you get in trouble for it.
Well,
But-
if you
but
want,
you
if you're
really
worried about,
don't.
if you're worried about your evaluation, it does. I mean, it affects that.
If you're worried about your promotion, it affects it. But there's
Yeah.
nothing negative that's going to come of it. Fair?
Object to form.
I think I've answered it. It's negative if it affects your evaluation. And it can be a transfer, not just for promotion, too. So, of course, it's not accepted.
Well, you'd agree with me that it's commonplace for these troopers to speed.
I've seen it over the years, yes.
I mean, it's a consistent.
Not consistent, but
Not?
I've seen it. No, I would say it's consistent.
Okay. What? I mean, you guys don't give each other tickets, do you?
No?
How fast does a trooper have to be going in a non-emergency situation in order for there to be something more severe as far as punishment other than an informal discipline?
I don't think it's the speed. I think it's the situation at the time, if you're asking that. So, yeah, I mean, you can get in trouble, so to speak, complained on, but if a certain speed, I couldn't necessarily tell you that. I mean,
Well, I mean, at what point, as far as speed, let's take the turnpike, for instance. How fast does a trooper have to be going in that type of situation for them to really get in trouble?
Object to form.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, what do you train them?
Training, what do you mean?
Well, you said you help with training, or you did the 2 years prior to your retirement.
No, I was scheduling training. I'm not training anybody.
Okay.
I'm
were never
responsible for training. I'm setting up their training because you have to have so many hours a year to continue your education in CLEAT.
Okay. You never were involved in any type of training.
Maybe showing some films, showing, assigning them to watch their laptop for updates, keeping track of that, but not me physically training them or talking to them. So, no.
Okay. So you said that you had reviewed the pursuit policy in preparation for today, is that right?
Yes.
And when did you do that?
Yesterday.
Okay. And how did you get a copy of that?
Ms. Neal sent me a copy of it.
Okay. And which version was it that you reviewed?
I don't know.
Okay. In your 30 years of being a trooper, were there changes in the pursuit policy over those years?
I've seen it change a little bit over the years.
Okay. And when was the last time approximately do you recall it being changed?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay. When it would change, how were you all as patrolmen made aware of the change?
You are sent that policy change, and then you sign for it, that you've read it and understand it.
But nobody goes over it with you, true?
If they've got questions, they can go over it, but no, not necessarily.
Okay. And I saw reference to pursuit packets. You know what a pursuit packet is?
Yes.
Tell me what a pursuit packet
It's
is.
been so many years. It goes from all the required documents. Gosh, I haven't done it. I just can't remember the exact, maybe the interview of the trooper, scope of employment forms, any arrest reports, any accident reports. It can go on and on. I can't remember. It's been 4 years since I've messed with it, over 4 years.
What's a scope of employment form?
Where the officer or trooper is within the guidelines of the law and his authority under the Constitution and laws of Oklahoma.
Okay, help me understand that. It's a form that gets filled out, correct?
Yes.
And
I haven't seen it so long, I'd have to.
well, I haven't either. That's why I'm asking. So I'm trying to figure out what goes into one.
Read it and sign it. I can't remember, quite honestly.
Okay.
I don't know. Why is a pursuit packet put together? To review if anything was violated, policy or state law, et cetera.
Okay. And a pursuit packet is not done for every pursuit, correct?
I don't know what they're doing now, but I think there's a pursuit form, but if it involves more, I think a pursuit packet. I don't think it's a pursuit packet done for every single pursuit, but I can't remember now.
Okay. And again, all my questions are going to be up until the time you retired, okay? I'm not
Sure.
going to hold you to something that happened 2 years ago.
No, I'm not.
Who was responsible for putting together those pursuit packets?
Usually the troop commander,
Okay. And in February 2021, who was that?
Jerry Reagan.
Okay. And so they put it together and they do what with it?
It's reviewed. Any recommendations from the captain on up to the major, and if any action may be taken, or if it's everything's copacetic, it's signed off on. I'm assuming. I think on this pursuit, I don't think Jerry Reagan did one, but I don't remember. I think the investigative team took it over.
Okay. When you said it's given for review, is that to a committee or panel?
Up the chain, after the pursuit packet has been completed, the captain will make recommendations, if any, or none, and then send it on up to be approved by the major and then lieutenant colonel and chief, et cetera.
To your knowledge, is it discretionary whether or not a pursuit's reviewed?
There's always some sort of form or packet, to my knowledge.
Right, but that just because a packet's put together does not mean that, you know, this group is going to be assembled to look into it. Fair?
Yes, I think
What
that's
do you
correct.
what do you call that again? That
A board?
Yeah, board. Was it like a pursuit board or?
Yeah, I think
Review board?
I think it's, and I quite honestly can't remember if there's not a board for every pursuit, but in a case like this, there may be. I don't know.
Okay. Well, were you ever questioned by a review board in regards to this incident?
No,
Never?
I don't think so, no.
When this incident happened and you all realized it was a double fatality, do you recall any attorneys coming to the scene?
No,
Scott Wood didn't show up?
no, not that I remember. I didn't see Scott. If he did, Gary James came down and Randy Gill met me at headquarters.
Okay, that day?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, that
Okay.
day.
And did you talk to Gary that day?
I did.
And he's OHP's attorney, correct?
He's actually the Oklahoma State Troopers Association attorney and an FOP attorney.
Okay. So when you guys meet with him, does he represent you?
Yes.
Okay. You and the association.
Well, actually, at the time, I wasn't a member. I dropped my membership, but Gary came down anyway, just because I've known Gary for many, many years. And then Randy Gill, who is an FOP attorney, came to the Troop B headquarters also.
Okay. Did you meet with them both together?
Yes.
Okay. Did you give either one of them a statement?
Told him what happened.
Okay. Did you write down what happened at that time?
No.
Okay. When was the first time you gave a written or verbal recitation of what happened?
I think it was sometime in March, if I remember correctly.
Like March 16th or 17th?
I don't remember.
Okay. Is there a reason why it took 3 to 4 weeks for you to give your statement?
Well, sometimes you want to give the officer involved a time to rethink and catch his breath, so it's not done immediately, because I can assure you I was in shock.
Sure. But you think your memory of what happened was better 3 to 4 weeks later as opposed to after it happened?
I think so.
Okay. And in those 3 to 4 weeks, how many times did you meet with Randy Gill?
I think it was that day only.
Okay. Same with Gary?
Yes.
Did you meet with any of your supervisors in that 3 to 4 week period?
I see.
I'm sorry, about this incident?
I didn't meet him. I mean, I worked with other supervisor and my captain every day. But sit down and go through it, no, not necessarily.
Okay. And as a lawyer, when you say not necessarily, it makes me...
You talk about it. I mean, tragic. 2 people were killed. 2 innocent people were killed. So it's something that, you know, they're obviously feeling sorry for me, but they should be feeling sorry for them. But I mean, they're my friends. They're my supervisors and they're my buddies. But you can't help but talk a little bit about it. But go in depth, no.
Okay. And when you say they felt sorry for you, tell me, what do you mean by that?
Because I was involved in a tragic death, 2 deaths. I mean, how do you not have any kind of compassion for? It's an officer's worst nightmare, and 2 innocent people were killed. So I don't know how you can just ignore that and not talk to your buddies about it.
Okay, and I understand that, but when you gave your statement in March of 2021, you didn't mention one time that anyone died, did you?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
I mean, isn't that an important part of what happened?
It speaks for itself that it did happen. That's the reason this whole thing was because of this tragedy.
Okay.
I don't understand your question.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out why the one time you give a statement about this pursuit, you don't mention that 2 people died as a result of it.
I couldn't tell you. I was just telling what I remember happened in the pursuit, and that's
Okay.
what I did.
Do you take any responsibility for these 2 people dying?
No,
Object to form.
None.
I don't take any responsibility. I feel terrible. I feel sickened about it, but I did my job. I thought about stopping the pursuit. I wish I hadn't even gone to work that day. You know, I mean, but then if I would have been remiss if I'd have just stopped and then ended up killing somebody else at another time. So, you know, an officer is a catch-22. I don't know.
So the officers are the victims.
No, of course
Objective
not. Come
form.
on. Really?
Well, give me a break.
Counselor, come on.
No.
Hey. I'm not the victim. The officer's not the victim. The victims are the ones that are died.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to figure out why people in your office would feel sorry for you. You weren't hurt, were
They
you?
could,
Object
No.
to form.
no.
Okay. I mean, the 2 people that you didn't even check on were the victims, correct?
Object to form.
I knew there was officers within seconds, and I had the suspect. And I can't just ignore him and run over them and have him run off. I don't know what you want me to say. He was hurt as well.
Right. He wasn't going anywhere. He'd collapsed, right?
Well, he went down, but he wasn't. He could run. I saw him run.
And then you saw him fall.
Yeah, he lay down because he saw me coming.
Okay. Do you know what OHP General Order 12000 is?
No.
Okay. You were also disciplined for violations of that order.
Okay.
Any recall as to that?
No.
Anytime it says informal discipline, does that mean that someone just said something to you?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of like what we talked about earlier with the speeding?
Yes.
Okay. When you started doing more administrative work or desk work, whatever you want to call it, what had you been doing immediately before that for OHP?
Before the administrative work,
Right.
working as a field supervisor.
Okay. And what does a field supervisor do?
Well, he has a group of 5, 6, 7 troopers, and he supervises their activity, their reports, their timesheets, their training. Just individually keeps a log of their progress and their activity month to month, week to week.
Is it another, I mean, do you do it from a desk?
Yes.
It's another
You
desk
can.
position?
You can also do it on the road too.
And did you ever go out on the road to supervise?
Yes.
And what would you be looking for in those situations?
Just riding along with the trooper, see how he's doing, or she.
What about just going and watching your troopers that you're over to make sure that they're not driving 100 miles an hour on the turnpike? No?
No, I mean, no.
So basically kind of more of the same as what you were doing when you're filling in for your captain?
Similar, but not totally.
How long did you do that?
Since 2009.
I mean, is that what you were promoted into? Was that was a promotion to go from being a
Trooper to lieutenant,
trooper to?
supervisor.
Was that your title in 2021 as well?
Yes.
Did you retire as an OHP field supervisor?
Yes.
Was that the highest ranking that you had while at OHP?
Yes.
Okay, Trooper Warren, you understand that we're back on the record, you're still under oath?
Yes.
Anything about your previous testimony that you'd like to change at this time?
No.
At what point in this, say, 10 to 20 minute pursuit, at what point was it confirmed that this truck was stolen?
Just, I believe dispatch had got a call from Coweta PD, or they called them, and I think they announced that. I couldn't tell you what time during the pursuit they announced it, that they were going to get a report or taking a report for a stolen vehicle at the car wash.
Okay. But that was during your hot pursuit?
From what I remember, that it was just confirmed, just to let me and the other troopers, officers know. That's what I remember.
Right, but prior to that, other than this stranger that came up to you and told you that the truck was stolen, that's all you had to go off of, correct?
That's correct.
And you initiated, well, strike that. So is it fair to say that you initiated the pursuit based on an alleged felony?
I initiated the investigation, in other words, me trying to sneak up there and maybe run a tag or whatever, but when he broke away from that group, from my experience and me not having my lights on, forward lights on, it helped staple what this guy had just told me. It helped confirm that, in my opinion. Now, did I have confirmation from headquarters? No.
I mean, it had not, at the time you began your pursuit, it had not been made official that it had been reported stolen.
Correct.
Fair?
Correct.
Okay. Do you recall, as you sit here, hearing that report come over the radio that it was in fact stolen?
Yeah, I think that's just, I think it was, they got a call or they called Coweta. I think Coweta may have called them. I can't remember the exact verbiage.
Okay. Other than the fact that the truck had been stolen, were there any other details provided that you remember?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Nothing about who might have been driving it?
No.
Anything about how the truck was stolen?
He said car wash, so in my mind, it's exactly what happened. Somebody jumped in the car and took off. That's what I remember back in my brain.
Okay. And at some point, did you confirm how it was that this young man was able to get in the truck and steal it, drive it away?
Not during the pursuit, no.
No, but at some point, did you come to?
Yes.
And what did you learn?
From what I remember, there was 2 or 3 individuals in a Kia that had been carjacked prior to this, and this young man got out and jumped into a pickup that a guy had completed his car wash and was trying to wipe it down or something like that. That's what I remember.
Right, but did the kid have to hotwire it or the keys in it?
I don't know about that. I don't know if it was running or if the keys were in it. I didn't get any information on that he just left in it.
Okay, but after everything, after the dust had settled, so to speak, you still had to do an investigation on this eluding, correct?
No.
Was everything handed over to Troop Z?
Yes.
Okay. Is that the fatality unit, Troop Z?
It can be. I think I think they do both, the investigative part and the fatality unit as well.
But there is one unit of the Oklahoma Highway Patrol that's in charge of fatalities, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they come in and help on fatalities or
Right.
take over a fatality crash, et cetera.
I mean, they run point on it, so to speak.
Not
True.
everyone, but most of
Oh.
them. I don't think it's everyone.
Okay. And so, at what point in your investigation as to the felony eluding did your involvement stop?
In the investigation?
Yeah.
The crash.
Okay. Did you question this kid at all?
No, I don't remember asking him any questions. I don't remember that, no.
Okay.
Maybe his name or something, or I
But-
can't, but I mean,
But nothing to confirm that he'd actually stolen it.
I don't remember that, no.
Okay. Once you became aware that this was a fatality, is that when, I mean, do you guys, are you trained that everything stops and it turns over to someone else, or how does that work?
That wasn't my call, because of the double fatality. I think either the captain or somebody made a decision to let Troop Z handle it and take me out of it.
Okay. And you were with Troop B?
No, I'm with XE and XB, which is Creek and Muskogee Turnpike.
Okay. Where do you office out of?
71st and the Creek Turnpike, there's a little maintenance building with an office there too.
Okay. Let me hand you what I've got marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 1,
Okay?
or 3, not 1, 3. And you might have to turn it sideways. And I know I skipped 2, everyone, I just, don't let me. Okay, Mr. Warren, what are we looking at here?
Invocation of rights, I'm sorry.
And is this a form that Oklahoma Highway Patrol uses?
Yes, first one I've ever seen.
Okay. And is that your signature there at the bottom?
Yes,
It's dated 2/25/21, correct?
yes,
Okay. Do you recall signing this?
no.
So you don't remember where you were when you signed it?
No, I assume at Troop B.
Okay. It says, I understand there's a request to interview me about the shooting/use of force I was involved in on 2/25/21, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and tell the jury, if you would, what the use of force was that you had used.
Objective form.
Use of force that I used?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't use any use of force.
Okay. Well, it says that you were involved in a shooting/use of force.
Yeah. Like I said, I haven't seen this before. Obviously, I saw it that day. Don't even remember reading it. I'm just kind of going by the guidelines of my attorney or whoever.
Okay.
I think this is a form that they must have signed. I don't know.
It goes on to say, I am invoking my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution, Article 2, Section 21 of the Oklahoma Constitution, and Lanise versus Texas, to not answer any questions at the present time. Do you see that?
Yes.
Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. And tell the jury, if you would, what it means to invoke your rights under the Fifth Amendment.
Object to form.
I don't know. I mean,
30 years in law enforcement and you
well, I'm just saying, I don't know the verbiage. If you're asking me, basically, I just don't want to say anything at this point, is the way I understand it.
Okay, but, I mean, you've Mirandized people before, correct?
Yes,
I'm assuming you know what that means.
right. The right to not say anything, so.
That's the right not to say anything that might be self-incriminating, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. So what was it that you did or didn't do in the context of this pursuit that you felt might incriminate you?
Object to form.
I didn't feel that way. I was asked to sign it, and I signed it because of guidance. I don't know what else to say to it, so.
Okay. Well, I mean, surely you read it before you signed it.
You know, I probably didn't, quite honestly.
Okay.
I probably didn't.
You say, I will confer with my attorney who will be in touch with you at a later time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, day of the incident, bless you. By this time, you know that a kid's been killed and a mom, correct?
Yes. Mother, daughter.
I'm assuming that at that time, just like you do today, you didn't feel like you played any role or had any responsibility for their deaths, true?
Object to form.
But yet you refused to cooperate in the investigation at that
I
time.
didn't refuse
Object
to
to form.
cooperate.
Well, it says that they're asking you to interview you, that it's being requested that you give an interview about what happened.
I think this is standard, but like I said, this is the first one I've seen. I think this is standard in any kind of serious fatality, shooting, etc.
Okay. Well, and I'm just trying to figure out why you wouldn't have been willing to give an interview the day it happened.
I believe the premise behind this is that you're in shock, and to let your body and mind collect your thoughts and go through everything at a later date where you can hopefully get everything as accurate as you can.
And after you've met with your attorney, true?
Sure.
Okay.
It's 11:26.
All right. We could, whatever we need to do.
No, I just want to turn,
Yeah.
see if I can do this.
Sure. Let's go off. We go off or whatever.
Sorry, shouldn't hear.
Mike, I'm sorry, I just have to jump up. I did right. I did that.
Officer Warren, are you familiar with this excerpt?
Yes.
And what is it that we're looking at here?
The in-car video recorders, general order.
Okay. And it looks like it was initially drafted April 15th of 2014 and revised in October 15th of 2018. Is that true?
It looks that way, yes.
Under Section 2, Policy 2A, the use of recording devices will assist in the collection and preservation of evidence. Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
And then going to the next page. Under Section B, purpose of in-car video recorders. The department has adopted the use of in-car video recording equipment in order to accomplish several objectives, including but not limited to A, accurate documentation of events and statements made during arrests, collisions, and other incidents. Do you see that?
Yes.
And was that your understanding in February of 2021?
Yes.
Okay. Is the fact that in-car video recording equipment was used to document events such as these types of pursuits, in your mind, does that does that back up the notion that these explorers really weren't meant to be used in pursuits?
No,
Object to form.
sorry,
No?
a little fast. No,
Okay. So why wouldn't it be important if you're operating an explorer to have accurate documentation of events?
it is important, but as I explained, it was my captain's Ford Explorer, and since I'm primarily not a road trooper, it wasn't necessary for me to have a new patrol car and a video camera recorder, because it's not my primary function is to go out and stop cars.
Well, how often would you from the time you got that Explorer till February 25th of 2021, how often would you pull people over?
On a day-to-day basis, pretty much never, unless I just had to. If it was something that I needed attention, that I felt like needed attention. And occasionally we used to do overtime shifts, as they call it, where you would work either a speed shift or a construction zone shift for safety. And sometimes I worked those over the years.
And do you recall ever working one from the time you got that Explorer till the time this incident occurred?
Yes.
Okay. How many times would you have done that? Approximately.
I don't know. Once every month, once every 2 months, I'd have to go back if there's records of it to find out.
And is that something that you do so that you could get overtime?
Yes.
Okay. It was something that you volunteered to do?
Yes.
Okay. No one asked you to do it, correct?
No, strictly volunteer.
Okay. And so aside from, monitoring a construction zone, fair to say that after you were given the Ford Explorer, there wasn't any expectation of you performing traffic stops. Fair?
On a day-to-day
Form.
basis, no. I mean, it wasn't my primary job, no.
Well, it doesn't sound like it was your secondary job either. I mean, it was rare, was it not?
Once a month, once every 2 months. I don't know what you call rare.
Well,
but
aside from your construction gig, was it happening once or twice a month that you'd pull someone over and write them a ticket or make a traffic stop?
it could be once or twice a month. It could be zero.
Well, let me ask you this. From the time you got that Explorer through February 25th of 2021, how many pursuits were you involved in using your Explorer?
I don't think any pursuits with that Explorer. Now, I would go assist if somebody else was in a pursuit, and I would
Sure.
go assist, but not me personally, no.
Well, but assisting is a lot different than being the lead, correct?
Yes.
And so is it fair to say that in the year and a half to 2 years that you had this Explorer, that other than this pursuit on February 25th, 2021, you had not been involved as the lead officer in any other pursuit?
I don't
Object
remember.
to form.
I don't remember being involved in a pursuit with my own activation.
Okay. So at least as you sit here today, to the best of your memory, this was the only pursuit you were involved in
As primary.
as primary.
Yes.
Fair?
Yes.
Okay. If you'll go to page 4 of 8 for me, please. And it's under, it's Section C, ICVR operation, subsection 3. Do you see that?
Okay,
Says ICVR recordings are a critical component of daily operations and shall be utilized unless there are mechanical issues that would prevent its use. ICVR operators shall utilize their ICVR equipment to record the following. A, all contacts to include traffic, pursuits. You see that?
sure.
And so, at least as of 2015, when this, or 2018, when this was revised, you understood that ICVR recordings were expected to be used on any pursuit, correct?
When equipped,
Objective
yes.
form.
Unless there's mechanical issues.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
sure.
I mean, every patrol car was supposed to have the ICVR in it, was it not?
Every road trooper car for sure, yes.
Right.
Yes,
And because of that, every pursuit was supposed to be recorded.
absolutely.
Objective form.
And you don't believe that's consistent with the idea that your Explorer wasn't supposed to be used in pursuits?
If it's not equipped, I can't use it. And like I said, road troopers are the priority to put these cameras in.
Well, it doesn't look like it's discretionary as far as whether or not you use an ICVR in a pursuit, is it?
It is discretionary if it's equipped. Now, if the chief of the highway patrol or whoever would say, we want one in every unit, then that's what they would do. But the chief doesn't have one. I don't know of any major or lieutenant colonel and captain that has one. And there's a lot of troopers that work special services either that never have one equipped as well, that have a unmarked car, et cetera. But the traffic patrol units were supposed to be equipped when they were issued with a camera.
Okay, and like those individuals you mentioned a moment ago, majors, captain, the higher up, so to speak, their cars weren't equipped because they weren't supposed to be acting as primary on pursuits either, were they?
Objective form.
They can act as primary. Sure they can.
Okay. You had all these other highway patrolmen helping with this pursuit, correct?
Yes.
I'm assuming most, if not all of them, were in a Charger?
The trooper behind me had a Tahoe. What the other guys were driving, I'm assuming they're Chargers. I don't remember.
Any particular reason why you didn't let one of them take lead on the pursuit?
I would have. There wasn't anybody there close enough to take lead.
Well, I mean, you had situations where they were throwing out these stop sticks, right?
Yes, he was driving Explorer as well, that trooper.
That trooper
on
was?
the BA, yeah, but he was on the wrong side of the wall, so he couldn't have caught up to me anyway.
So what, he jumped over the divider?
He stayed on the other side of the wall, so when he threw the stop sticks out, he's got some safety in case
Right.
something happens. If a Troop B trooper or any other trooper with a Charger would have showed up close enough, I would have had them take lead, only because that Charger's got more of ability to get up there close enough to that truck to take him out.
Okay. When you had one of those Chargers, what's the fastest you ever drove one of them?
I think they're governed at 150.
And does that mean that's as fast as you've gone?
In a Charger,
Right.
yes.
You've driven 150 miles an hour on the road.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember, was that a common occurrence?
If It could be if you're out working and you get a car doing 100 miles an hour on the Muskogee Turnpike and you go down to turn around, by the time you catch up there, you're maxed out at 150 for several miles. Unless you're fortunate enough where they just pull over and wait on you.
And you as an organization deem that to be safe?
Object to form.
It's been safe for me for years and every other trooper I've known. I mean, you're trained to operate a vehicle at high speeds, and
Well, operating a vehicle at high speeds doesn't necessarily deem whatever you're doing safe, does it?
I'm not saying it's completely safe. You could have a blowout, but yeah, to turn around on a vehicle, you're going to have to do those kind of speeds to catch somebody. I don't know how else to say it.
Well, I mean, it's not just about having a blowout. It's about somebody hopping out in the middle of the road, right?
Object to form.
Yeah, that could happen. I guess it could happen. Never happened to me in 35 years, but yeah, it could happen.
Well, you could run into another car, right?
Could. You certainly could.
I'm sure you've heard of that happening with your fellow officers, right?
Yes,
Object
yes.
to form.
I'm sure you've heard of that happening and it resulting in people losing their lives.
Object to form.
Yes.
I mean, these pursuits, it's not uncommon for the people fleeing from the OHP officers to strike someone and end up killing them, is it?
Object to form.
It's your definition of uncommon. I mean, has it occurred? Sure. But common? No. Pursuits happen every day.
Well, you think it happens on a yearly basis?
For this type of tragedy?
Right.
I don't know.
Do you guys at the Oklahoma Highway Patrol keep track of any of that?
Object to form.
I'm sure somebody does. The Highway Safety Office or someone does, yeah.
Okay. I believe you told me earlier that you were familiar with the vehicular pursuit operation guidelines.
Yes, somewhat, yes.
I mean, that's what was provided to you, correct?
Yes.
And so, and you read it yesterday, correct?
Not all of it, but perused through. I didn't go through roadblocks, necessarily all of it, but just read some of it.
I mean, you read some of the 11 pages.
I thought there was more pages than that, but yeah,
Okay.
I did.
You had mentioned earlier something to the effect of you know, how you as troopers with the Oklahoma Highway Patrol were trained. Maybe it was in the context of a scope of employment form. Basically, the legal boundaries of how you all are to conduct yourselves during a pursuit, correct?
I think the form is the chief of the Highway Patrol authorizing you to work as a trooper in the scope of that. I think that's, if I didn't say that right a while ago, I'd have to reread the form, quite honestly.
Well, I'm just trying to get a feel for, you were talking about how part of the role as a pursuit review board member would be to make sure that the troopers involved in the pursuit complied with the law,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
Okay, and so I'm asking you, what is the law as far as you understood it as to pursuits?
You're trying to stop a vehicle and stay within safety guidelines of a common sense person. You know, I mean, I don't know how else to explain it to you.
Well, I mean, is that what you were trained?
Sure.
That you're supposed to use common sense?
As far as being safe at a high speed, the best you can, sure.
Okay. You said being safe at a high speed. Tell me, how are you supposed to assess whether what you're doing is safe or not?
Just years and years of doing it, the training, being able to operate the vehicle at high speeds, and in your driving schools, in the academy, in your continuing education, how you handle the vehicle. It's just experience is the biggest issue, I think, training and experience.
But are there different factors you're supposed to take into account when assessing the situation?
Sure.
Okay, and give me some examples.
I think I gave one a while ago. I tried to stop a vehicle for speeding, got off the highway, and a school bus was letting out. Well, in my mind, it wasn't worth chasing this vehicle and have one of those kids get hit.
But that was because it was a misdemeanor, right?
Even if a felony, I may have just shut my lights off, so because kids run out. I've seen it when they hear sirens, so you just have to be the situation. I don't know, quite honestly.
All right, but you're trained on these different situations, true?
You're not trained on that specific situation, but you're trained to use your common sense. And if you got a bunch of kids running around, this guy's driving crazy, so you'd probably shut it down.
Okay. What is it about eluding that makes it a felony?
If at nighttime, if a guy shuts his lights off, it can turn into a felony.
How about in the middle of the day?
The crime itself, I'm sorry?
How about in the middle of the day?
Middle of the day, too.
What?
Well, the crime of the stolen vehicle and then hitting a car and running, and hitting another car and running, or causing that crash. I mean, it's a felonious person trying to get away with a crime. So
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what the difference is between, I guess, a misdemeanor eluding and a felony eluding.
just a higher crime, sure.
Right. But what gets you there?
The crime. I don't know what you mean, what gets
Well-
you there. Well, if I run a tag and it comes back stolen, that's a felony.
Okay, but it's not a
If-
felony eluding. It's a stolen vehicle, right?
Right.
So you mentioned numerous times in statements and in documentation that this elevated itself to a felony eluding.
I don't,
And
think
I'm
I,
just-
I don't think I said felony eluding.
You don't?
I said felony. I don't think I said felony eluding.
Okay. Well, if you had said felony eluding, would that be a misstatement?
I don't remember what I said. I don't think it was felony eluding. So I don't know.
Do you ever use the term felony, or did you ever use the term felony eluding?
Over the years, I'm sure I have.
I can tell you, and we'll get to it later, but the recording of your interview at 4 minutes and 33 seconds, you stated, now it's turned into felony eluding.
Okay, I don't.
So what
remember
does that mean?
I guess because what I told you before, where he had the crash at 81st and Highway 51, and the other one at 31st and Memorial. You know, you're leaving the scene of a crime, and you don't stop, so it's felony eluding.
Okay. Is leaving the scene of a non-injury accident a felony?
No,
It's a misdemeanor, isn't it?
right, but you don't know unless you stop in
Right.
a situation like that. Yeah.
But your statement also, you also provided that because you knew that no one, or that you didn't think anyone had been hurt, so you didn't stop.
Yeah, the only time that I was unsure that somebody was hurt is at 31st Memorial. I was unsure of that, had no knowledge of somebody being hurt or not.
If if this kid had hit one of these cars back when he was closer to 81st and the BA, and it was more than just a rear view mirror or a side mirror, would you have stopped to check on him?
Yeah, if I felt like somebody needed assistance, of course I would have.
Okay. And so at that point, it would have your pursuit would have ended, at least as far as you being primary.
My
correct?
portion, yes.
Okay. Let me have that. Please. Give you exhibit number 5. That's the vehicular pursuit operation,
Okay?
general order, correct?
Yes.
And earlier we discussed it's 11 pages in length, correct?
Okay?
Is that your understanding?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever seen a shorter version of this?
I don't remember.
Okay. It's got at the beginning the purpose of this general order regarding vehicular pursuit operation is to establish regulations for making decisions with regard to vehicular pursuit operations. Do you see that?
Yes.
And did you understand that at the time?
Yes.
Okay. So, what is the difference between a pursuit unit and a primary unit?
Primary is the one that's right behind the suspect, and any unit that's involved in pursuit, whether it's, trying to get to a certain location or trailing him, that could be a pursuit unit.
That could be a what?
A pursuit unit, you asked, I think, is what you said.
Right. And then, so are all primary and secondary units also considered pursuit units?
Everybody's a pursuit unit, correct.
Okay. Then on the page 2, it goes into tactical vehicle intervention, TVI, correct?
Okay?
It says tactical vehicle intervention is the use of a pursuit unit as a use of force option. Do you see that?
Yes.
It says when properly performed, TVI is a controlled maneuver used to safely end a vehicular pursuit and, in doing so, minimize the risk of injury to the public, the member, and the suspect. Is that right?
That's, yes.
Okay. And TVI is different than vehicle ramming,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
That the point of vehicular weaponry or vehicular ramming is to stop an imminent threat of harm to the member or another person, correct?
Correct.
And what's a member?
Another patrol member?
Okay. So anytime it says member, it's talking about you or a fellow highway patrol officer?
Yes.
Okay. Under Section 3 policy, it says vehicular pursuit of fleeing suspects can present a danger to the lives of the public, members, and suspects involved in the vehicular pursuit. Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you agree with that statement?
Yes.
Okay. Says it is the responsibility of the patrol to assist members in the safe performance of their duties. Do you see that?
Yes,
Do you agree with that?
yes.
When it says the patrol and patrol's capitalized, what's it referring to?
OHP.
Just in general?
OHP. The patrol has always meant OHP.
Okay. So it is the responsibility of the Oklahoma Highway Patrol to assist members in the safe performance of their duties?
Yes,
Okay. Goes on to say any decision to pursue or continue a pursuit involves striking a balance between law enforcement effectiveness and the risk of injury to the public. Is that true?
yes,
Then under A, it says Oklahoma law. It says the Oklahoma Supreme Court has adopted reckless disregard for the safety of others as the duty of care an emergency vehicle driver owes to the public while operating pursuant to Section 11-106 of Title 47 of the Oklahoma statutes. You see that?
yes.
And is that what you all were taught as far as the standard in Oklahoma?
Yes, I mean, I don't remember if this was, when I came on in 86, if this is what you used, but yes,
Well, at least in 2021, it's what was used, right?
yes, yes.
Okay. So when it says there that the Oklahoma Supreme Court has adopted reckless disregard for the safety of others as the duty of care, tell me what that means to you.
Like I mentioned before, if I'm chasing somebody and I don't yield to an intersection, then that's not proper duty of care. I mean, that's disregard for the safety of others.
Okay. What else are examples of reckless disregard?
Object to form.
I don't know. I mean, I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but that's the main one. I mean, operate your vehicle with the lights on, chasing somebody as safe as you can, and hopefully not get anybody hurt. That's the whole idea of it.
Well, but it's a constant balancing game, is it not?
Object to form.
Sure, it's balanced, sure.
I mean, on one hand, you've got the benefit of apprehending this individual that's fleeing, true,
Yes,
as compared to the risk it poses to the public in general, right?
yes,
I mean, in this 10 to 20 minutes that you're chasing this young man at speeds upwards of 120 miles an hour, at what point did you say to yourself, gee, maybe this isn't a great idea?
Object to form.
Never?
speeds like that are never a good idea, but that's just part of pursuits. I mean, his vehicle, I believe, would only do about 100. When I announced those speeds, I was referring to myself.
Oh, I know you're referring to yourself.
Yeah.
You were going 120 miles an hour. You thought he was going at most 100 miles an hour,
That's correct.
but you never could catch up to him.
That's correct.
Okay. So at what point did you realize that your 100 mile an hour theory was inaccurate?
Because I could outdrive him and I could stay with him and hopefully get enough information out to the other troopers and the other police officers to help stop the pursuit. That was my whole idea, is to maybe he would make a mistake and hit a curb and I could go up and TVI him and take him out of the pursuit.
Well, at some point, and it seemed like it was early on in the pursuit, you realized that your Explorer wasn't able to keep up with his truck. Fair?
Well, I could outrun him, but he could out-accelerate me for a certain distance, and that's what I was referring to.
Okay, but when you say you could outrun him, that's based on this premise that the trucks are capped at 100 miles an hour, right?
Right.
Okay. And as you sit here today, do you understand that that's not true?
Objective
No,
form.
I don't understand what you mean.
I mean, you're not aware that acceleration limiter keeps those trucks at 135 miles an hour?
Never heard of that.
Okay. that it's something that you have to initiate as the driver of the truck in order for that to be in place? Ever heard of that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that in order to limit the speed of the truck, you have to initiate the acceleration limiter.
Object to form.
Are you aware of any of that?
Who has to initiate
The
it?
driver of the vehicle.
The kid?
Yeah.
I don't think that truck could do 135 miles an hour because I could
Well, it
overtake
did more
him.
than 120.
No, I never said that.
Oh, I know you didn't say it, but you never could catch up with them.
Well, it's the distance that I've got to be able to do that. Had he stayed on the BA, I would have caught him and taken him out.
Okay. And that was your goal
To
that
take
day,
him out. To
was
stop
to
that
catch
pursuit.
up and to take him out
Stop that pursuit.
at all costs.
At all costs. Stop that pursuit.
No matter how many people got hurt in the process.
Of course not.
Well, at what point do you stop?
Every pursuit, if it's 2 blocks, something like this could happen. It's you just never know. Hindsight's 20/20. Monday morning quarterback. Like I said, I wish I hadn't even gone to work that day, counselor.
So other than going through a red light without your lights on, without slowing down, you can't think of any other examples of reckless conduct?
Of course, you could drive through a parking lot you could do some crazy stuff, but that's not what I do.
Well, you drove through the come and go at lunchtime.
Sure.
Chasing this guy.
Sure, but I did it carefully. I mean, I know how to handle my.
How do you carefully chase someone through a parking lot?
Object to form.
I have chased people many, many places, different locations, geographic locations, etc. And I did it as safe as I could, and I proved that by doing it. But I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'm going to kill somebody from my vehicle.
Well, essentially that's what you did, isn't it?
No,
Object to
No.
form.
I didn't do that.
Okay. Just because you didn't hit anyone in the come and go parking lot doesn't mean you did it safely, does it?
Object to form.
I did it safely.
Because you always do everything safe,
Object to form.
right?
I try to do it safely. Correct.
Even when you're driving 150 miles an hour on the turnpike, that's safe, right?
Object to form.
It's safe to me. I feel safe.
I'm sure you do. Is it safe if someone else is driving 150 miles an hour on the turnpike?
No?
That would be reckless driving, correct?
Yes?
Okay. So when you do it as a patrolman, it's safe, but when someone else does it, it's not?
Object to form.
I'm not saying that it can't not be safe. Of course, something can happen, but I've done it thousands of times.
That doesn't make it safe, though,
No, of
officer.
course not. Anything could happen. Anything could happen.
If you go to page 3 under procedure, section A, general. Number 1, the member shall activate and ensure function of emergency and in-car video recording equipment. You see that?
I'll see it.
Okay. Under section 2, the member initiating the vehicular pursuit shall immediately notify communications personnel a vehicular pursuit is underway and shall provide the following information. A is whether there was any weaponry involved. True?
Yes.
And in this case, there was not. True?
To my knowledge, that's true.
Okay. B, whether it is a vehicular pursuit or a failure to yield to red light and siren, slow pursuit.
Yes.
Now, vehicular pursuit, when the lights are engaged and the sirens are engaged, that's also referred to as a hot pursuit, correct?
Yes.
You're supposed to tell them the location and direction of travel, the vehicle description. Under section F, a brief description of subject's driving behavior, i.e. speed of violator, what degree of respect for other traffic, little, none, or attempting to strike other persons or objects, and G, the reason for the vehicular pursuit. True?
Yes.
Okay. Under Section 3, any pursuit unit sustaining damage that could compromise safe operation of the vehicle or experiencing failure of essential vehicular equipment during the vehicular pursuit shall discontinue participation in the vehicular pursuit. Do you see that?
Yeah,
Was that what you all were trained?
sure.
So if something happens to your car that might compromise your safety, you're supposed to end the pursuit, correct?
I think they're referring to, I've had it happen to me where my engine just quit. Obviously, you're out of the pursuit. So common sense, you're out of the pursuit.
Okay,
If
but-
lights and siren quit on you, then you need to take yourself out of the pursuit.
Okay. Or if you sustain any damage that could compromise your safe operation of the vehicle, right?
Yes.
Under Section B, initiation of vehicular pursuits. It says members are authorized to initiate vehicular pursuits when, and then if you go to the next page, let me see here. I guess it's when the part that would apply to this is when the suspect exhibits the intent to avoid arrest by using a vehicle to flee apprehension for an alleged felony or misdemeanor. Is that what would have that's what triggered it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Then under Section C on page 4 of 11, it says members or vehicular pursuit operations. Members shall carefully compare the seriousness of the violation to the hazards of a vehicular pursuit and shall carefully and continually consider the danger to themselves and the public in determining whether to attempt involvement in a vehicular pursuit. You see that?
Yes.
Okay. And the part we see there where it says that you shall carefully and continually consider the danger to yourself and the public. You see that part?
Yes.
Okay. And so, in order to comply with that, that's kind of that balancing test that we spoke about earlier, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then they give a list here of things to consider in determining whether to involve yourself in a vehicular pursuit or stay involved in a vehicular pursuit, correct?
Yes.
Under 2C, it says, members shall not become or remain in a vehicular pursuit when their effectiveness or safety is limited by the following factors. And the first factor is the performance capabilities of the patrol vehicle. True?
True.
Okay. And I believe in your statement in here today, you've acknowledged that your Ford Explorer and its V6 was not up to snuff, so to speak, as far as its capabilities.
Object to
That's
form.
not what I said. I said that it doesn't perform as well as a Charger.
Okay, it's an SUV.
Mm-hmm.
It's not made to go 120 miles an hour, is it?
Yeah, it's made, it shuts off at 130
Okay. And how do you know that?
because I've hit that limiter many times.
2B, the condition and character of the road surface on which the vehicular pursuit is being conducted. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, if you got a solid sheet of ice, maybe it's not time to be chasing somebody.
Section C, the amount of vehicular and pedestrian traffic in the area. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So my recollection, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that this young man was on the Broken Arrow Expressway, then at some point heads north on 169, correct?
Yes.
Then exits on 41st Street,
Yes.
okay? And then eventually gets to 21st and 109th East Avenue, true?
True.
Okay. 41st Street at lunchtime is busy, is it not?
It is.
Same with 21st Street at lunchtime?
Yes.
Busy? The come and go parking lot at lunchtime's busy?
Yes.
Okay. There's pedestrians in all those places, are there not?
Yes.
Okay. There's pedestrians in neighborhoods, correct?
Yes.
So why didn't any of that factor in your decision of whether or not to forego this pursuit?
Well, I mean, I've got an option of stopping the pursuit, and then in my mind, because it's a felony and the way he is shown me the way he drives, that somebody's going to try to stop him. So my intent, I didn't want him hurting somebody else because I didn't do something correct.
But you understood while this was going on that he was running from you, correct?
Correct.
He was running because you were chasing him,
Correct.
correct? And it never occurred to you that if you stopped chasing him, he might stop driving like he was driving?
He proved
Objective form.
he proved that at the very end when he was blocks ahead of me and still continued.
Well, you were still chasing him.
Yeah, but I was 4 or 5 blocks behind him when all this occurred.
Well, so why didn't you stop?
Because right there is the Highway Patrol headquarters, just real close to that location. I'm hoping that somebody can get set stop sticks out and stop him. I mean, I don't know what else to say except, I did what I was supposed to do, and it's just a sickening tragedy what happened.
Okay, but when you look at these other factors, I mean, performance capabilities of the patrol vehicles, the amount of vehicular and pedestrian traffic in the area, the member's location relative to the distance from the vehicular pursuit and its direction of travel, the number of law enforcement vehicles directly involved in the vehicular pursuit, the speed involved. I mean, don't all those things point to stopping the pursuit?
They can, but they
Well,
don't always.
Okay, but in this situation, you're telling me that those factors did not indicate to you that you needed to stop the pursuit?
Well,
Objective form.
I wish I had. I wish I'd stopped it. I mean, that's just to save somebody's life. I would have done anything.
I understand, but the question is whether you should have stopped it.
Well, I mean, a 1 block pursuit you could go back and say you should have stopped it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, at what point? What if you get a drunk driver driving 100 miles an hour, and he's reckless? Do you just let him go because it's dangerous, or do you go try to stop him?
Well, do you know he's drunk when you're chasing him?
When I see him driving crazy, I know he's drunk. I've seen
Okay.
it many, many times.
Well, we're not dealing with that situation here, are
Don't
we?
know that.
Well, you do.
No.
You don't know that you are. Okay?
You're right.
I mean, you could say, "Oh,
Everything's
he
unexplained.
could have been a mass murderer, and I stopped him." You could do that every single time you do one of these pursuits,
I
couldn't you?
didn't say that.
Couldn't you?
I didn't say that. No,
I didn't-
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I
Well,
wouldn't say that.
I mean, it's 1 p.m. on a Monday afternoon. All you know is that the truck is allegedly stolen when you start your pursuit. I mean, for all you know, he could have been given the keys to that truck. True?
I didn't know that. I don't
Right,
know.
you didn't.
You're right.
You
But
didn't
then
know
I-
anything.
But then I found out that it was in
Objective form.
fact stolen.
Yeah, but by that time the pursuit had already started and it was already ongoing.
You're right.
Objective form.
I mean, as you sit here today, you don't see how anything you did contributed to these people dying?
Objective form.
I was doing what I thought was by policy what I was supposed to do. I wanted to stop it just because I was about to retire. I wanted to stop it personally.
You wanted to
But
get
I
him.
also swore to protect the public, and at that point, I felt like stopping him with another vehicle or another trooper, stop sticks, anything, to prevent something like this happening. I mean, I don't know at what point do you go back in hindsight 2020 and Monday morning quarterback it? It's easy after the fact.
I know, but that's what you guys
I don't
always
think
say.
you do know.
I do.
I don't think you do.
I've seen enough people get killed by you guys that I'm very
Killed-
aware of how
Killed by you guys?
Yeah.
Object to form.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and it's always the hindsight's 2020. We can drive our cars as fast as we want to, as long as we don't get anything. I don't know if that stems from from back in the day where as long as you were just sexually assaulting a hooker, you only got suspended for 3 days, or whether I mean, does anyone ever care that
Objective.
you all caused these accidents?
Objective form. That question is argumentative and inappropriate.
Officer Warren? Is it ever OHP's fault in these pursuits when these people die?
It could be, sure.
Can you think of one?
Not off the top of my head, I
In
can't.
30 years, you can't think of one,
I'm
can
sure
you?
it's happened, I just can't think of one. You've asked me if I thought of one, I can't remember.
Well, surely that would be something you'd remember.
Objective form.
Is it not? It's so rare. It's such a rare occurrence that in the self-policing of the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, you all deem something to have been done incorrectly. Surely you'd remember that.
Yeah,
Objective
I do
form.
remember one.
Okay.
Before I came on the patrol, Mark Zumwalt ran over somebody at Liberty Glass in Sapulpa.
Okay. And that was in the 80s?
Yes.
Okay. Since the 80s, you remember any?
You know, I'm sure there has been, but I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Okay. Under subsection 3, evaluation. Members shall continually reevaluate the environmental factors over the course of a pursuit as the situation may change and render the pursuit unnecessarily unsafe. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you do that?
I felt like I did, yes.
As you were driving across that person's yard, it never occurred to you that maybe this isn't the safest thing to be doing?
Objective form.
It was safe the way I did it. I'm not sure how it was safe the way he did it. I can drive across someone's lawn and make sure I don't hit anybody. I can do that.
Yeah, but is it just about your driving, or is it also about the person that's fleeing you?
Well, his too, but
Right.
if he was going to kill somebody, he could have ran over those workers that were in the street. He chose to go in the grass and avoid them.
Okay. So even before this incident that resulted in these 2 people dying happened, there was a situation where workers might have been struck by him. True?
Objective form.
I mean, it
And
could
that's
have
what you
happened.
just said.
Yeah, it could have happened. It
Yeah.
didn't. Sure.
Okay. But that was a risk that presented itself. True? Is that a yes?
Yes.
And you still didn't stop, did
Well,
you?
There was no. When I ran to that corner, I saw him cut across the lawn. I cut across the lawn. I didn't see those workers until I ran to the corner. I don't know what you want me to say.
I'm not wanting you to say anything. I'm
Well,
trying
I
to
mean,
figure out.
Trying to answer it.
I'm trying to figure out how many things have to happen before you realize this probably needs to stop.
I did what I was supposed to do, is all I can tell you.
You were focused on getting the driver, period.
Objective
Right?
form.
Yes.
You were going to apprehend him no matter what,
No.
Objective form.
No.
which is exactly why after he struck these people, you went and chased after him. You weren't concerned about the people in the car, were you?
Objective
Of course I was.
Well, then why didn't you check on them?
Because I knew there was guys seconds behind me. I just told you that.
Well, why couldn't they go get this kid?
Because they didn't see him. They
Okay.
weren't there.
What do you
I
mean
don't
they
understand.
weren't? You just said they were seconds behind you.
That's right. But they didn't see him. I was. I saw him.
Well, yeah, because you were locked onto him. How could they not see him?
Objective form.
In my opinion, they wouldn't have seen him.
Okay. At what point did you become aware that there was a kid in the car that was alive?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you recall how long he was left in that car
I do
with
not.
his aunt and his cousin dead?
I do not.
Okay. Did you even know that there was a kid that lived through this?
I don't remember. I mean, at that time, you're talking about at the time of of course, I knew it later.
Well, how about within 10 minutes of this happening?
I did not know it.
So what factors did you take into account during this pursuit when you were continually reevaluating the environmental factors?
All of them.
Well, all what?
Weather conditions, speed involved, all the things we just discussed.
Okay. Well, I asked you earlier today what factors you take into account, and you didn't mention any of these, did you?
Object to form.
I didn't know I had to. I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, I think that if you're given a deposition about the performance of a pursuit, surely you thought I was going to ask you what factors you take into account when deciding whether or not to stop a pursuit, right?
Sure.
Object to form.
And you reviewed it yesterday, right?
Sure, sure.
And you still couldn't give me any examples earlier, could you?
You know, all these factors come into play on every pursuit. It's all I can answer you.
Object to form to the question.
Is it fair to say that the policy of the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, at least as far as you understood it, was as long as you thought you were being safe, you're good?
Object to form.
It's not written for me. As
Well, it's
long as
it is.
My
It
thoughts,
is.
it's written as a guide, and that's what I followed.
Okay. And back to my question, though. Is it the animus of the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, as far as you were aware in February of 2021, that as long as you as the officer thought you were being safe, you were in the clear?
Object to form.
I don't know how to answer that.
Well, truthfully,
Well, I
Give
always
me an
answer
answer.
everything truthfully.
okay.
I did everything as safe as I could and followed the policies, is all I can tell you.
My question is, during this period of time, at the kind of like with the speeding, like you get a hand slap if you're speeding. That's just part of what happens as a highway patrol officer. Is this another example of as long as you thought you were being safe, that's all that matters?
Object to form.
I felt like I was safe.
Okay. Is there any part of this pursuit that you think others might not view it as being safe?
All of it's unsafe. The whole
Okay.
pursuit's unsafe. I mean, every pursuit's unsafe, whether it's this long of a pursuit, whether it's a short pursuit, they're all unsafe. And I don't know how else to explain it.
And you would agree with me that the longer the pursuit goes, the longer the opportunity for something bad to happen, true?
Object to form.
It could happen that way. I mean, I've had some long pursuits that were just the opposite.
Okay. How many times did your fellow troopers put out these speed sticks?
One tried to. I didn't have anybody else get in position to do that.
Why not?
Nobody was in position. I don't know what to say. I mean,
Well, you told me that you had other officers in position, that you felt safe continuing the pursuit because you knew there were others involved.
I don't understand the question.
Well, do you not recall saying that?
I recall telling you about a trooper on the BA that tried to throw stop sticks out. I recall telling you about a trooper close to 31st Memorial and checking on that little crash there. And I recall telling you about the Tulsa police officer that was at 21st and Sheridan with the roadblock. And also when I went through the come and go parking lot and got on 21st, I believe it was about that time, another trooper said, "Hey, I'm behind you, I'll call the pursuit out."
Okay.
And then when I approached the scene, I saw police lights, trooper, I'm not sure, coming westbound on 21st towards the scene, and then Ricky was just right behind me.
Okay.
So
and all
nobody
the-
was in position to throw stop sticks out that I was aware of.
Okay. Well, did you ask anyone to get in position?
I don't have to ask, it's just automatic. It's SOP. Everybody's gonna try to get in position. That's what other units were trying to do the whole time.
But none of them did, other than the one.
They didn't get in, I wish they
Right.
had, they didn't.
In the 10 to 20 minutes that this is going on, none of your fellow officers could get in position.
Right.
What ended up happening to this 14-year-old?
I don't know.
You have no idea.
I heard McGirt situation came in and I've never, I don't know what happened to the kid.
Did you ever testify in any hearings against them?
No.
Do you know whether he was charged as an adult or as a juvenile?
I don't have any idea.
Okay, I'm going to turn to section D, page 5 of 11. Discontinuation of vehicular pursuits. The decision to discontinue or cease vehicular pursuit operations without further intervention may be the most rational means of preserving the lives and property of the public. Do you see that?
Yes,
Do you agree with that?
yes.
Under subsection D1, vehicular pursuit shall be immediately discontinued in any of the following circumstances. B, the danger posed by continued vehicular pursuit to the public, the members, or the suspect is greater than the value of apprehending the suspects. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. At any point in time, did you come to the conclusion that the danger being posed was greater than the value of apprehending the suspect?
And I always think that.
You always think what?
I always think that if I could tell the future, that I wish I would call it off. I wish, because I know what I know now, I wish a captain would have, my supervisor or any captain would have called me off so these 2 lives could be saved. You
I know, but you were a lieutenant.
Sure.
I mean, you've been there 30 years. Are you telling me that the only way you know whether or not the pursuit was worth continuing is after the fact?
No pursuit's worth when somebody gets killed. I don't understand. I've called pursuits off before. I explained that earlier. I'm hoping somebody can get in position to use stop sticks or take tactical vehicle intervention on this kid, on this truck.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. This was a Chevy Silverado that he was driving?
Yes.
Do you recall the year?
No.
I mean, it looked like it was at least in the last 10 years.
Could be.
Would you give me that?
Could be.
I mean, you understood that all these Chevys have GPS in them, true?
Most of them, yeah.
Well,
I don't know what year they came out with GPS.
okay. Well, at least as early as 2003, they had GPS.
Okay.
So you were aware that they had GPS in these kinds of trucks, correct?
Object to form.
Yes.
Okay. That would have told you where the truck was at any given time, wouldn't it?
Could.
Well, it would if someone had asked, right?
Yeah.
How about OnStar? You were aware that these vehicles had OnStar on them, correct?
I wasn't aware what that vehicle had, but OnStar is in Chevrolet vehicles.
in every
I
Chevy
believe.
that comes out.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Okay. You understood at this time that there was a way that OnStar could dysfunction that engine remotely, didn't you?
I didn't know they could do that.
Okay.
I
If
think
you'd known that, would that have been a safer way to handle this situation?
I would have loved to have used that, of course.
No one ever trained you on that?
No?
No one ever trained you guys how to use GPS when
No,
tracking a suspect?
we all know how to use GPS to a certain extent, but I didn't think anything about that vehicle. I didn't think that vehicle was that new. I don't know what year it was. I have no idea.
You'd agree, but you didn't even think about these options during this pursuit, did you?
I did not.
Okay. So there were potentially safer options out there than chasing him, correct?
Object to form.
I didn't think of that option.
Okay. That wasn't my question. My question was, were there not safer options out there that you could have utilized?
If that was one to use, I didn't know we could use it. I didn't know that they could shut one down. I know they can unlock your vehicle. I didn't know that they could shut it down.
How about the GPS?
And the GPS too, how they.
I mean, you knew these cars had them on them, right?
I didn't even think about the GPS.
I understand you didn't think about
Well, I'm
it.
just telling you, that's just,
But
that
but
wasn't
when
in
you're
my mind.
when you're weighing whether or not to continue this pursuit, and your concern is making sure you capture this individual, wouldn't the GPS be a good way to do it?
Object to form.
It could find the vehicle, yes.
Yeah. Not only could it find it, you could stop your pursuit and still catch them. True?
Didn't know it could stop the pursuit.
You
it
didn't
would
know that
stop the
you-
vehicle.
No, I'm not talking about stopping the vehicle.
Oh.
I'm talking about you stopping the pursuit, letting things cool down, and then go catch him when he parks. That was an option, wasn't it?
Object to form.
I didn't even think of the option.
I know you didn't.
Right.
But
I've
had
never heard
you,
anybody use it. I've never heard anybody use it.
you've never heard anyone use GPS
To shut a vehicle
track-
down? Of course
I'm not
not.
talking about just to shut a vehicle down. That's OnStar. I'm talking about GPS and your ability to track this car.
Yes, I've heard of that, yes.
That's
course I've
something
heard
that
of it.
you all have the power to do.
Right.
And you didn't do it, did
right.
you?
No.
Object
Okay.
to form.
And had you done it, there's a good chance these people wouldn't have been killed in there.
Object to form.
I don't know.
You don't know that if you'd stopped chasing him, he wouldn't have hit these people?
No, I don't know that he would have kept going. I don't know that. I don't know what he would have done.
If you'd used the GPS, you could have apprehended him when he stopped, correct?
I don't. You mean he would stay with the vehicle?
I'm saying,
You just said GPS.
yeah, GPS. As the
Right.
vehicle's traveling, you're able to track it, correct?
You know what? I didn't even think of it, and I don't think anybody else has used it. I was unfamiliar with that part of the GPS system. Now, I know we used it for stolen vehicles.
Well, that's what this was.
I understand that, but I'm talking about when GPS alerts us. But I've never even thought of that. Never thought of it.
But you do know that law enforcement, at least in 2021, up to today, had the capabilities to use GPS to track vehicles,
Object
Correct.
to form.
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
And they can track them in real time, can't they?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. I mean, I don't know if it's real time or if it's delayed. I don't know what else to say.
I mean, you've seen or at least heard of other law enforcement agencies using GPS to find these kinds of vehicles, correct?
Yes.
No one ever trained you how to do that?
No.
No one ever said, hey, here's who we call?
No, I mean, people have called OnStar to unlock a vehicle, but I didn't know that we could shut it down. And I knew that GPS can follow it, but I didn't have never had a thought of that vehicle having GPS. It never occurred to me.
I get that. And you were never trained on that, were you?
I never was.
Okay. But as you sit here today, those are viable options that could have prevented this from happening, aren't they?
Object to form.
I don't know. I mean, it's an option, but I don't know if we could have used it. I don't know. I've never used it, so I can't tell you that.
Okay. Well, based on your understanding of how other law enforcement agencies use it, it could have done exactly what we're talking about, couldn't it?
I guess it could have.
Let's take a break.
Tahoe 140.
Okay, Mr. Warren, let me hand you what I've marked as plan as Exhibit 6.
Okay.
You understand that you're back on the record, you're still under oath?
Yes.
Tell me what you see there depicted in those photographs, please.
Appears to be the vehicle involved in the crash.
That would be the
Chevrolet.
2016 Chevy Silverado.
Yes.
And let's see. If you'll turn to that second page for me, please. If you look up on the roof of the truck above the driver's side, do you see that black thing?
Yes.
What's that?
I'm assuming that's GPS or OnStar or whatever.
Both?
Is it both? I don't know.
So just so we're clear, it was equipped with that.
Okay, was it turned on? I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, in emergency situations, it doesn't have to be. So
I'm unfamiliar with that.
Objective form.
I understand. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page, that is the antenna or whatever they call it, the transmitter for
Sure.
OnStar and GPS.
Looks like it, yes.
Okay. This young man that was driving this truck, there were times where he was speeding in excess of 100 miles an hour, true?
Like I said, I thought his vehicle was limited around 100 miles an hour. So
Well,
that's what I know.
I mean, even if it was, do you think that at times he was going that fast? True?
I think on the BA, he was going 100.
Right.
Yes.
And that would be reckless, correct?
Can be.
Well-
Usually reckless involves two elements, but if you're going to write a reckless driving ticket, for example,
What do you mean it involves two elements?
like maybe he's passing on the shoulder driving 100. So there's two things you're doing wrong. So two elements of
Okay.
reckless.
Well, but, and again, I'm just talking about lay people, not law enforcement. If he's driving 100 miles an hour, regardless of where he is, that's reckless, is it not?
You know, if you get on the
Objective
turnpike, sorry.
It's okay.
If you get on the turnpike, 100's not reckless. I mean, it can be if you have other elements, but you got speeds at 80 miles an hour, you'll see 100 miles an hour all day.
How fast does it have to be before you can write a reckless ticket?
Each county has a different, ADA might have a different opinion.
Sure.
It's not just speed. I mean, it's
It's
not
not.
always, not always.
It can be, though.
I'm
can't
through my
it?
experience, I'm just telling you.
Right, but it can be
Could
just
be
speed.
like if it was a school zone or 40 mile an hour zone or whatever. I mean, it certainly could qualify as reckless, and that type of speed would be the only factor.
Right, well, if speed is the only factor that we're talking about in this scenario, and he's on the highway, at what point does the speed become reckless?
Objective form.
Like I said, I think each ADA has a different opinion on it, so they might say 100 or above 100, 110, might say 90. I mean, it's a subjective to the ADAs from my experience.
Okay, well, let's talk about the Tulsa County.
I haven't written a reckless driving ticket in so long, I couldn't tell you what the new ADAs there.
Well, how about in 2021?
Like I said, I don't know.
So you wouldn't have written a ticket for reckless driving because you don't know what it looks like. Fair?
Objective form.
No, I think I can determine my opinion, but that may not be what the ADA
Okay.
files. I'm just saying I may write it for reckless and they drop it down to speed or.
Okay. And I'm not concerned with what the ADAs might call it. I want to know, in your opinion, during this period of time as a law enforcement officer, how fast does someone have to be driving on the Broken Arrow Expressway or on Highway 169 before it becomes reckless?
Objective form.
In my opinion, it just kind of depends on the conditions and all that. That's just from my experience.
Okay, what conditions would factor in?
You know, if it's rush hour traffic, or if it's snow outside, ice on the roadway.
Okay. That's it?
Well, if you're talking about 100 miles an hour, but I'm just telling you from my experience, and driving 100 miles an hour on the BA is not uncommon. It doesn't mean that another trooper might write him for reckless and I may write him for a speed. I'm just telling you it's kind of up to the trooper or the law enforcement officer, deputy, police officer, etc.
What's the speed limit on the BA? 65?
65, yeah.
And so going 35 over would not be reckless in your opinion?
It just depends on time of day. I worked nights for 10 years, so, you know, not always.
Well, so it's completely discretionary.
Yes.
Okay. What other factors do you take into account other than speed?
Like I said, his driving, if he's changing lanes in and out at that speed, that's another element of reckless. If he's passing on the shoulder, passing on the inside shoulder,
How about driving in the wrong direction in another lane?
of course.
Was he doing that at all?
I think he may have at Mingo. I'm trying to remember. I think he rounded a concrete median just real quick to get back because traffic at the light there. I'm trying to remember what. I think at 41st and Mingo, he might have went around the center island or something at that intersection. I can't remember for sure.
But even if he's driving 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction on the highway, as long as no one's coming at him, it's not reckless?
Object to form.
No, I would call that reckless. I'm just saying he wasn't driving 100 miles an hour at that when he went left of that center median. I don't know what you're saying.
Well, no, I'm just trying to get a definition of
Well, it's so subjective. I
well,
mean,
that's the problem, is it's
I
very
know.
subjective. And so I'm trying to figure out how you were trained, what reckless constitutes.
And I thought I just explained, I'm sorry, it's usually elements besides speed. It could be going left of center in the other lane. It could be going in and out of traffic. It could be jumping a curb or cutting through a come-and-go parking lot. That's reckless.
But just going 120 miles an hour on the highway is not necessarily in and of itself reckless.
120, I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 120 miles an hour on the highway is reckless.
I'm just saying
Object to form.
it's still kind of depending on the trooper at that time. On the turnpike, it's not uncommon to get speeds well over 100, and it's not always reckless. Many times it is, but it's not always reckless. That's all I know.
Well, I guess I'm just struggling with why is it so hard for you to give me a definition of what reckless is?
It's not hard. I just gave it to you.
It is.
No, I'm sorry,
Sometimes
sir.
it requires more than one factor. Sometimes
Not always.
speed's
I said
enough.
it usually does, but you said 120 a minute ago, and I said, well, that's reckless.
And I'm wanting you to confirm that.
I just did. I thought. I'm sorry.
Well, and when I asked you the second time, you said, well, it depends. I mean, 120 miles an hour on the highway is reckless, is it not?
It can be, yes. I just, like I said, it just depends on the situation. I have stopped people at 120 and wrote them for a speed, and then you get another guy that you may write for reckless and let the DA and give your narrative of why you think it's reckless besides just the speed. I'm just telling you how it goes.
Is there not a statute that defines it?
There's no number in statute that I'm aware of, or even a policy that you must write a ticket at a certain speed over the limit. I've never seen that.
And I get that they don't write that you have to write a ticket above a certain limit. Tickets are always discretionary, are they not?
Sure.
Okay. My question is, to qualify as reckless under the Title 47 of the Oklahoma Driving Code, is there any guidance that you're provided?
To my knowledge, it's normally two different elements. That's just the way I've done it. I've never seen it where a certain speed over 50 or a certain speed over 100 or whatever it is. I've never seen that. So if a trooper or an officer feels like that it constitutes a reckless driving ticket, then he can write it, and then let the DA decide there if he wants to write a speeding ticket or at that speed. That's his. Everybody has their own opinion on what it should be. It's not always just a number.
All right, so it's discretionary based on each individual situation.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when he was, well, there were times during this chase or pursuit, whatever you want to call it, where both of you were driving in excess of 100 miles an hour. Fair?
On the BA, yeah.
Right.
I don't know that he was. I still say his truck was limited to 100, but I do not know that. To my knowledge, those pickup trucks shut off at 100. GM used to. I don't know. They may have changed it, but to my knowledge, I know I got up over 100,
Right.
to gain ground on him, but then, so
But you never gained ground on him.
I did gain ground on him.
You did.
I certainly did. Yes.
Until the point where you're 4 or 5 blocks behind.
On 21st Street.
Right.
Correct. Yes.
I mean, that's not gaining ground, correct?
Not at that point.
I mean, how far do you have to get away from someone for it to factor into whether you are going to stop your pursuit?
Well, in this case, it was getting close because I wasn't gaining any ground at that particular location, but the others I was. I was able to give directions on which way he turned and what street he was on and that kind of thing. So I'm hoping that the other troopers and police officers are all listening to communication and trying to position themselves to throw stop sticks out or any other way that can assist me.
Is it fair to say that other than the one trooper that I think you said had utilized stop sticks on the BA, that no other stop sticks were actually utilized in this?
Correct.
Okay. And I think you said maybe TPD had one car blocking a certain path. True?
Yes. from
Is
what I
that
remember.
is that the extent of the help you were provided?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, there was units coming from everywhere from my knowledge, but I don't know where they were at the time. I have no idea.
Okay. And how did you know they were coming to help?
It's just the way it is. I mean, you just don't ignore it. I mean,
Well, I guess I'm trying to figure out how many highway patrolmen does it take to stop a 14-year-old driving a truck?
Objective form.
what do you mean? If he pulls over, one.
Okay. Well, I mean, you guys are going 15, 20 minutes and you can't stop the kid?
I don't think we were going 15, 20, maybe 15, but I
Okay.
don't. How long was it? 10 minutes?
You said 10 to 15 minutes.
I just was guessing. I don't know exactly.
Okay.
You said 20. I didn't say 20.
Okay. Well, for the amount of driving that was involved, you're telling me 20 would be out of the realm of possibility?
I think we covered ground faster than that. So I don't think 20 was
Okay, 15 then.
maybe 15, maybe 10. Like I said, I don't know exactly. I don't remember.
Okay. And in that 10 to 15 minute period, I'm just trying to figure out how many troopers does it take to stop one person in a truck?
Objective form.
You know, it could take one, it could take three. I don't know. I mean, there's no specific answer to that because anybody can run. It may take 10 troopers to get in position to stop somebody. It may take one trooper to get in position to take tactical vehicle intervention. I mean, I don't know what your question is trying to point out. I mean,
It's trying to point out
that's
why
that's
it
an
takes,
answer I can't give because
Why- I mean-
I've stopped thousands of cars and at any age, and they pull over.
Okay.
But if somebody runs, you don't know if somebody's going to be in position to stop him or not. Hopefully, I would be.
Okay, but you rely on that, though, when determining whether or not to continue the pursuit, do you not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially at that location.
So if you don't know where they all are, how do you factor that in?
Well, they're usually on the radio, and Trooper Humdy and Trooper Coyle, and then another trooper on Memorial. I could hear those guys talking,
Okay.
so I know they're in the area.
Any reason why they didn't use their stop sticks?
Well, because they can't anticipate every turn this guy's going to make.
Okay. I mean, other than the stop sticks used on the BA, what did any officer other than you do to stop this young man in his fleeing?
Object to
Nothing.
form.
Nothing, right?
Nothing. Just try to get in position is all they were trying to do.
Get in position for what?
Stop sticks or TVI. I've explained that. What do you?
Okay.
I don't understand. It's hard to guess where a guy's going to turn when he.
I understand
Well,
that.
that's. I mean, so.
But the statement you provided 3.5 weeks after this incident
Okay.
seems to indicate that you felt fine continuing the pursuit because you had so much help.
I knew I had help coming. I don't know where they
Well,
were at. Well,
So you didn't know if you had help.
Object
no,
to
I knew I
form.
had help. I knew
Why?
I had
Because there
help.
were guys on the radio,
Sure.
but none of them helped you.
Well, they were trying to get in
Objective form.
position.
Okay. I mean, is OHP's kind of MO typically to let whoever's the primary unit just finish the chase?
Typically.
Object to form.
Typically, right?
What do you mean typically?
I mean, whoever's running lead on it just gets to finish the chase
No.
while everyone else kind
No,
of waits
course not.
around?
Of course not.
But you can't point me to one thing any of them did other than the one that threw the stop sticks into the wrong lane.
Object to form.
I didn't say he's through the stop sticks.
No,
in the
well, that's
wrong
because
lane.
you haven't read all the documents.
I witnessed it. What do you
Really?
mean?
So how did they
Sure.
not work?
Because when he threw it over, the wind blew the stop sticks back.
Okay. Any reason why that didn't make it into any of your statement?
I wasn't asked. I don't remember that being an issue. He made an attempt. I think I made that statement.
Reporting of pursuits. The chief may require written reports be completed by all personnel involved in a vehicular pursuit. Is that true?
If it's in the policy, I'm sure it's true, yes.
Well, it says may, so it's discretionary up to the chief?
The chief's the boss. If it says may, it may.
Okay. Can I have the supplemental form? Was that 9? Yes. Here's exhibit number 9. What is it?
Did you say?
9. What are we looking at here, Mr. Warren?
Looks like Scott Miller's supplemental form.
Well, this is a summary of his interview of you, correct?
Yes.
And as you mentioned, it says supplemental form. You see that? It's a supplement to what?
For this part of the investigation.
Right, but is there a version of this that was an original that this supplements?
You'd have to ask Scott, I don't know. I think supplemental form is the standard form we use anytime we take a statement or make a statement, that kind of thing.
Okay. Now, this interview, this was the one that was recorded, correct?
I guess it is.
I mean, the one where you sat there and Gary James was there.
Yes, that's true.
They all asked you questions. You recall that?
I recall some of it. I recall being there, yes, sir.
Now, did Gary do what did Gary go over everything with you before he started before they started recording everything?
I don't remember.
Objection. Are you trying to go into the attorney-client privilege?
No, but his testimony earlier was that Gary was asking him questions during the interview on behalf of OHP. And so I think I have a right to know what kind of prep they did before he asked those questions.
He's also testified that Gary represented him.
I know, but the fact that he was questioned by him in an interview is inconsistent with that.
I'm going to instruct you that if Gary James has represented you in relation to this event, to not answer questions that you've had related to private conversations you've had with Gary.
I'm not asking what you all talked about. I'm asking if there was any prep given to you prior to you giving your interview.
The interview that day or the day of the accident?
Well, you didn't give an interview the day of the accident, did you?
Right. No, I mean, I'm just saying, is that when you're talking about the interview on that specific day?
And I guess I'm confused. If you only gave one interview, then how would it be any other interview?
Like I said, I didn't know what your question was referring to. Did Gary talk to me the day of the accident? Sure he did.
Now, immediately before you gave this recorded interview,
Okay.
did anyone prep you for it?
You know, I don't remember. I'm sure that we talked about it. I can't remember what we said.
And who all would have been there when you talked about it?
Myself and Gary and Scott Miller, and I don't remember who the other guy was.
And you don't recall if the type of questions you were going to be asked was discussed?
No.
So it could have been you just don't recall.
It could have what been. I don't.
You could have been prepped for the interview before you started recording.
You know, I've never been through this deal on that day like that. I don't know. I don't know what was said that day. I don't know. I mean, if Gary talked to me and prepped me and asked me questions, it may have happened, but I don't remember what was said or.
Okay, you don't even remember whether he prepped you or not.
I don't remember.
Okay. How about Trooper Miller? Did he discuss with you in advance what he was going to be asking you?
No.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure, yeah. I don't. He was just there to take my recorded statement. I didn't. That's all I knew we were going to do.
Okay.
I think Gary was there for formality, but he was just taking my statement.
Right. So why is Gary asking you questions?
Gary asked questions? I didn't know he asked questions.
Yeah.
When?
During your interview.
During this interview?
You only gave one, true?
I don't remember Gary asking me questions. Is that what you're asking me?
I'm
Scott
asking-
Miller may have asked
Okay.
questions, but I don't remember Gary asking questions.
Okay. If he asked you questions, and we're going to get to it, I'm trying to figure out why, if it was just a formality that he was there and he was there as your attorney.
Like I said, I don't remember what Gary and I talked about. I really don't.
But you're sure you only gave one interview, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And it was on March 16th, 2021.
if that's the date, that sounds about right. March 16th, yeah.
And between February 25th, 2021 and March 16th, 2021, other than Randy Gill and Gary James, did you sit down like at a table formally and discuss the facts of this incident with anyone?
I don't remember discussing it with anyone. We had small talk like we all do about what occurred, but I don't remember sit down formally talking to somebody about this pursuit.
Okay. And between February 25th, 2021 and March 16th, 2021, did you seek any type of counseling as a result of this incident?
I went to see the department psychologist. Is that what you're asking me, or
Well,
twice in
Okay.
Stillwater? Kathy Thomas.
Okay, and that was during this 3-week period?
I don't remember if it was 3 weeks or after. I can't remember the dates that I went and saw her.
Okay. But you saw her twice?
I think it was twice.
Okay. And is that something I'm assuming that OHP provides as a
Yes.
option?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see here. At the top, on the top right, it has OHP investigation. That's just confirming that OHP was investigating it separate and apart from any other agency, correct?
It's just part of their procedure,
Right, but OSBI didn't come in,
not
right?
to my knowledge.
I mean, when there's an officer involved shooting, does OSBI come in?
Objective form.
I guess they could for analysis. They'd have the lab. I don't remember OHP arriving at the scene or OSBI arriving at the scene of shootings, but I'm sure they may have. I don't know that. I've
Okay.
never been involved in a shooting.
But as you sit here, is it fair to say that primarily anytime there was an incident like that or use of force or whatever, OHP would investigate it on behalf of OHP,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I mean, that's how it, I realize there might have been exceptions for something, but the typical practice is for Oklahoma Highway Patrol to police itself.
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall if before your interview you reviewed any documents?
I don't recall.
So on the second page, page 2 of 4, top paragraph, it says, Warren's evaluation was the pursuit had met the criteria to be deemed a felony pursuit. You see that?
I do.
Okay. Are those your words or his?
I guess it's his description of my words.
Okay. It goes on to say that you believe the pursuit had met the criteria to be deemed a felony pursuit and began assessing ways to terminate it, correct?
Correct.
So what was it about the felony pursuit that made you decide you needed to assess a way to terminate it?
To prevent a situation like this where this accident occurs.
Okay, so it had
So
gotten
I'm
to
just
the,
trying to stop the pursuit, just trying to stop it.
okay. And one way to stop it is to stop pursuing, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, when Mr. Gonzalez would pass vehicles on the right shoulder, did you follow?
No, I didn't need to.
What do you mean by that?
To my recollection, when he passed somebody on the Broken Arrow Expressway on the shoulder, and I never passed on the shoulder. I probably could have, but I had room to go around. I didn't know what
Okay.
he was doing.
I'm just trying to figure out.
It was on the BA from what I remember.
Okay, and I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe in your interview you said that maybe the far left lane was empty, and so you got into that lane.
I think I did try to get him over to the left lane to get closer to that trooper I told you that tried to throw the stop sticks out.
Okay. On page 3 of 4, top paragraph, Gonzalez avoided the stop sticks, immediately crossed all lanes of traffic and exited. You see that?
Yes,
Okay. And this was that incident we were talking about earlier, correct? The use of the stop sticks,
yes,
where the wind kept them from
yes,
being placed.
yes.
So, did he avoid the stop sticks, or were the stop sticks not utilized?
I know he moved to the right abruptly, but I'm not sure the stop sticks could have got out into that inside lane on the westbound side because of the wind.
Okay. I mean, how long are those, give or take?
They're usually 3 sections, about 6 foot apiece, so enough to travel across a lane, maybe a little bit more than a lane, so maybe 12, 14, 15 foot, I'm not sure. Or maybe there's 3 sections of 4, I can't remember, it's been too long. 3 sections of 4 footers
Okay.
or more, I don't remember.
Fourth paragraph down on that page talks about Gonzalez fled north. He came to a construction zone, passed through the construction zone, and drove through a yard near 37th Street and 94th East Avenue.
Yes,
Okay. It says you saw there were construction workers present,
yes,
True?
yes,
and that at that time you had fallen 3 or 4 blocks behind him, correct?
not at that time, I don't,
I mean, I'm just reading.
okay, where does it say that?
As he passed through the construction zone, Gonzalez turned west on 37th Street.
Oh,
and
once we got up on 31st, but not through, the construction zone was in the neighborhood.
Okay, so there's a construction zone in a neighborhood with workers.
Yes,
True?
yes.
How fast would you say you were going through the neighborhood?
He was making turn after turn, so I don't know if he got 40 miles an hour between blocks. Just
Okay.
guessing.
And so if you were pursuing him and trying to catch up, you would have had to have been going faster than that,
I was trying to, yeah.
right? So how fast do you think you were going?
I don't know, just enough to keep up with him and watch his turn. So at least matching his speed or maybe a little bit more.
40 to 50 maybe
Could be. I'm just taking a guess.
in a neighborhood.
Yes.
Now, if I drive 50 miles an hour in a neighborhood, is that reckless?
Objective form.
It could be.
Okay. When would it not be?
I don't know, if the speed limit was 25, I would say most people would write you a ticket
Yeah, I mean,
for reckless.
and when I say reckless, I don't mean, the statutory definition of it. I mean the common sense.
Of course it's reckless in a neighborhood. I'm just
Okay.
saying, you gave me an example, I'm just telling you what I know, so.
I understand, but I'm just asking you questions that, to me, seem pretty.
It is common sense.
Yeah.
50, okay.
50's
in a neighborhood.
reckless,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Now, when this young man cut through the come and go parking lot, you followed, correct?
Yes.
And roughly how fast do you think he was going through that parking lot?
I'm going to guess 15 to 20, 10 to 15, because he kind of maneuvered through, and I had to do the same thing.
Okay.
But of course, I was, at that time, half a block behind him, approximately, I'm guessing.
So you cut through the come and go instead of turning right at a light?
The intersection was blocked by TPD, and so cars were stopped there.
Okay.
And so that's the reason the kid drove through the come and
Gotcha.
go.
So it would have been difficult for you to get around them as well.
I could have, but it would have taken up time. I'm trying to get close enough to him to get a tactical vehicle intervention to stop the pursuit. That's what I'm trying to do.
Now, at some point, another officer, I think maybe had gotten in a position where he could take over the pursuit.
He was going to take over the calls on the radio.
Okay,
That's kind of SOP for
that's different though.
the second person calls it out, so the primary unit can focus on what's going on.
Okay. Now, when it goes on to say, as Warren approached US 169, he believed he saw Gonzalez crash the stolen pickup. What? Remind
I saw a commotion. I just assumed it was a crash. I mean, I couldn't see it to give a definitive answer, but I'm sure it was the crash, and that's obviously what it was.
Okay. Give me just a minute. I believe at some point in your interview you indicated that you were attempting to get close to see if you could get to a place where you could see the tag on the truck. Is that right?
I don't remember if that's what it says in my testimony on the recording. Then that's probably true. Of course, that's kind of standard procedure too, to try to get a tag.
Well, okay, and that's what I'm trying to get. Explain to me why that's important.
Just part of the procedure, the way I was trained.
Okay. I mean, but you didn't, there wasn't a reason you needed it at that point in time, correct?
Not a necessary reason, no.
Okay. So at one point in your interview, you say, and this is at 14 minutes and 42 seconds, I'm still evaluating this pursuit. I'm still thinking we've a felony eluding, a stolen truck, got help on the way. We're headed back to Troop B, essentially. I'm thinking we've got plenty of help. TPD's involved. We're going to make this as safe as possible, and that's my concern. We're trying to stop this guy. I don't know if this guy's armed. I don't know if he's done a home invasion, how he's got this stolen truck. I'm not sure what's going on. All this is going through my mind, but I still think I'm in policy. I still think I'm doing the right thing. What do you mean by that? I still think I'm in policy.
Objective form.
Just what I said,
What does that mean?
in following the policies,
The policy of what?
pursuit.
And what is that policy?
And we just went over it a minute ago, you and I both.
Okay, but you haven't been able to define it for me one time today, officer. What is the policy?
Objective form.
As you sit here,
I can read it.
can you not tell me without reading it?
I just want to be
30
accurate.
years of
I
doing
want
it?
to be accurate.
Okay, well, I want you to do it without looking at it. I want you to tell me what the policy is.
When I feel comfortable with I've had pursuits for 35 years. I was comfortable with what I was doing and staying within the policy, yes.
Objective
And
form.
what is
to
the policy?
question.
How do you stay within the policy?
I was doing what I was trained to do. You know, I mean, I didn't think I went out of bounds anywhere on my driving and calling out the pursuit and knowing I got help coming. I was in the guidelines. Every pursuit is absolutely dangerous. I knew that.
Okay.
So I felt like I was within policy, yes.
And earlier today, when we talked about it, you told me that in 30 years of doing this, you can't remember a time where it was deemed that an officer wasn't following policy.
I can't remember.
Objective
Right.
form.
I'm just telling you what I remember. It doesn't mean it didn't happen.
I know, but you can't remember when it happened.
Right.
Right?
Objective form.
I'm just trying to figure out what a highway patrolman has to do when operating a vehicle in a pursuit to get outside of the policy.
Objective form.
Is there anything?
Sure, I explained some of that a while ago. Passing on the shoulder, going through a light, that's just what I explained. That's being reckless.
Okay.
That's being negligent.
Okay. But you're chasing someone doing the same thing.
I've got lights and siren. I'm trying to do what I was trained to do.
Okay. So as far as you're concerned, when you're in a pursuit like this, I mean, you going on the shoulder wouldn't be reckless, would it?
Objective form.
With my lights and siren, with my experience, I can go to the shoulder safely.
I mean, with your experience and your training, basically anything you think needs to be done during a pursuit is within policy, correct?
Not anything. I'm just telling you, if you can perform and act like that safely, then you haven't violated policy.
The fact that you're doing it in and of itself makes it not safe, does it
No,
not?
not with an emergency
Objective
vehicle, it
form.
doesn't. Not an emergency vehicle, it doesn't.
Okay. So there's exceptions or special rules that apply when operating an emergency vehicle that don't apply to everyone else.
True.
Objective form.
Is that,
True.
is that right?
True. I mean, that's, otherwise we wouldn't be in an emergency vehicle.
Okay.
Lights and siren.
Okay. Well, and after this collision happened, you learned that he wasn't armed, true?
I don't remember anybody saying he was armed, right?
Well, you would have patted him down, wouldn't you have?
Oh, yeah, he wasn't armed yeah,
Right.
of course.
And you wouldn't
But
know.
I don't know about his vehicle. I don't know if there was a gun left in the vehicle. I was never
Right.
notified.
But you never looked either,
No,
in
I
all
didn't.
fairness.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Never involved in a home invasion on that day, correct?
Was he?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
At 21 minutes and 14 seconds, the question was asked of you, was there ever a time during that pursuit where you thought it was maybe you should terminate it, or did you feel like you were in a position that it was still safe enough? Your answer, if I didn't have enough help there, but I felt like I had help. Troopers were announcing where they were at. TPD was alerted. I felt like we had enough to stop the pursuit, either with stop sticks or spike strips. That's what TPD calls them, or with a unit getting in position to TVI or myself. I thought he might make a mistake. I've seen so many in all these pursuits where they bump a curb and they flatten a tire, and it has to slow them down, and I can put them out. I can take a tactical vehicle intervention and stop this pursuit. Do you recall providing that
It
answer?
Yes, it sounds like what I said.
Okay. So at least when you gave this interview, you did feel like you had enough help, true?
Absolutely.
I mean, were you hoping that he was going to blow a tire or something and then it would just stop?
Of course I was.
You were asked, why did you decide to continue the pursuit? Your answer, to stop this felony, to prevent something happening down the road. You recall that?
Yeah, it sounds like something I said.
Okay. And wouldn't you agree with me that by continuing the pursuit, something was allowed to happen down the road?
Of course it did. That's a
Objective form.
hindsight, yeah.
Can we take a quick break?
Of course.
Yep. Mr. Warren, let me hand you Plans Exhibit 8.
Okay,
I just need you to confirm that that's the path that this pursuit went down.
yeah, it appears to be, I guess.
I mean, I think the first page is a aerial photo, and then there's maybe a Google map or something behind that. Is that right?
Yeah, it's all in this area, yeah.
Okay, I mean,
But I mean, it's not covering all of it, but yeah.
it's not.
I don't think so, is it? Yeah, I guess it gets over to Sheridan, doesn't it? Yeah.
Okay, but that's from the, maybe what we call the pursuit file or whatever, that's a supplement to the report, correct?
Okay.
I just need you to confirm that.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay. And then, way down here, exhibit number.
It says 1 of 7. Is this? Yeah, okay.
I think there's more to it. I just want to make sure that that's the area we've been discussing today.
Okay.
And then I'm going to just go ahead and admit Exhibit 10, which is the recorded interview. I'm not going to play it. I'm just. I do want to ask though. I mean, as you sit here today, would you say your memory as to the chain of events is better today or in March of 2021 when you gave your interview?
I would say March.
Okay. If there's any discrepancies between your testimony today and what's in that March 2021 interview, is it fair to say that that's the more reliable version?
I would think so.
Okay.
I mean, from what my memory.
All right, I'll pass the witness.
Okay.